Welcome. We're live. Let me fix these cameras because I'm an absolute professional as always. But welcome to Chicago by Night, our 30th session online. There we go.
Ooh.
All fixed up. Lovely. So, tonight, yes, welcome to Vampire the Masquerade Chicago by Night. Tonight is our 30th session online. It's called A Party Like No Other. And before we begin, let's introduce the players we have at the moment to everybody, starting with V.
Hey, I'm Phoebe. I play V, the not Coteries Banu Hakim, because I keep forgetting we're not a coterie anymore.
We still feel like a coterie though. Forever. Anyway, sorry. I'm Beck. I'll be playing Irene, the La Sombra of the Not Coterie. And I'm eager for the session today.
And I'm Ethan, the storyteller of this wonderful kindred. Our third player will join us at in approximately 45 minutes or so. So we'll take a quick break around then just to sort all the cameras and everything for everybody. So it'll be a bit of an earlier break, and that means we can do a bit more later on. So stick with us for then. Usually, I begin these games with a recap of what happened last session. So let's begin with that. But if our kindred would like to jump in and add anything to this particular recap of anything your character did, you thought anything that was worth mentioning, something cool that you did that you really want people to know, always worthwhile. Let's begin with our recap. Alkidrid began the night by leaving the Succubus Club and discussing the events of the night. They then travelled to visit Vasco and asked him about the strange cracked mirror that V was given by Khadijah. He revealed it as a blood sorcery used by the Banu Hakim to travel through matter and become incorporeal. He then gifted Irene a stuffed rabbit that was a fetter for a wraith. He told her to squeeze it and request something from Hilda that relates to electronics. The wraith can assist by destroying technology whenever they desire. Joseph had a brief discussion with Dawn Nakada, the Malkavian that had been investigating the coterie when they were a coterie. She was packing her things to leave in New York, and Joseph tried to recruit her assistance for a raid upon Black Site 24, which she declined, saying that she has more important work in New York to deal with. Afterwards, our kindred took a rest and passed some time. The next night, they had been invited to a performance organized by Annabelle, the Toreador Primogen, for her childer to perform at, Olivia Moss. Our kindred made their way over in very formal wear. Some small texts and invitations after, they arrived at the Neo Futurist Theatre of Chicago. Annabelle was looking stunning, as always, having a fun interaction with Joseph through their wit and will. The kindred's first instinct afterwards was to observe the area and make sure it was safe. Irene moved downstairs while V checked the roof, Joseph remaining in the foyer. Irene found a Sabbat blood ritual, thanks to her history with them, underneath the stage and disabled it with Joseph's help. V, however, found an anarch on the roof, Gerard, and the two struggled to communicate. But after some time, V discovered that there were bombs placed around the building. Annabelle was told that, and she rushed to the roof and held Gerard by the throat at the edge of the building. And V managed to convince her not to kill Gerard, and instead put her heel through his chest and into torpor. The following performance was difficult to watch as Olivia cracked under the pressure and continued to follow that pressure for 2 hours of poor performance, ending it by bursting into tears. Afterwards, Joseph had a discussion with the Tremere group, while Irene had a brief discussion with Alec, a ministry man, and V had a brief discussion with the Seneschal, who asked if V would be willing to kill someone, given a certain amount of money. After this time, the kindred retired for the night, bellies full of blood, and wanted to get far away from the awkwardness of this entire event. This night, they have a party, but only for neonates. What will this party involve? What else will the older parties of these kindred do in the meantime? Let's find out. So, we begin our session with a rouse check as the night passes, and day comes across.
Yippee.
And day comes across Chicago, all across the city. These people, these humans, wake up and go to their usual jobs. They take the L, which is the subway underneath Chicago. They travel through this terrible, terrible um, traffic throughout everything, cutting each other off and making their way through. But feeling the warmth of the sun, the salty breeze through the air as well from Lake Michigan. It's very cold these nights. Most days and nights are overcast, grey, miserable. And now that it has become the weekend, I believe it's a Sunday this night because Saturday was our event the night before. So it is a Sunday night. Most people are recovering from hangovers or having a lot of coffees in the morning and such, or still working. Perhaps they work every day. And so there's a lot less people out and about. A lot of people rest. They take early nights. They go to sleep for work is tomorrow. And they want to prepare for that in any way that they can. And after some time of all these people traveling and making their way through, passing through the hive, these immense amount of reflective surfaces and the bright lights that start to shine up, and the city becomes alive at this time of night in not quite the way that you'd expect. Less people, but the lights turn on and a new form of life. The night people start to come out, the club goers, the people after a drink, the people who just want to relax or unwind, some younger students from the university making their way north, and other types as well, as our vampires, our kindred, awaken as the sun sets fully. Now, V, you are the first to awaken, as you have a higher humanity, I believe. And an hour
Higher than
afterwards,
Irene, yeah.
yes, and an hour afterwards is when Irene awakens from their slumber. The two of you are at your collective haven at this moment. Would you like to have any discussion or do anything before the beginning of this party? The invitation for you, V, is just arrive whenever you can. It's an all-night party.
Okay.
When are you planning to get there to this
Ugh.
neonate party?
Not too early that like basically the right time. I know that doesn't really say much, but like if I'm early, that's odd, and if I'm late, that's also odd. I want to be as
Fashionably late?
inconspicuous as not too late
Inconspicuous.
that it makes it look like I don't want to be there, which I don't, but I don't want them to know that.
No, going is a nice gesture, I suppose. Are you planning to go with anybody or just on your own?
I usually go to things on my own and meet people there. God, I haven't been to a party without you guys really since. Yeah, no, I didn't go to a lot of parties before we were a coterie, so
Neither did I.
yeah. So
yeah. I'm thinking I should go. Just because of everything that's happened with you know who, and the fact that she's going to be there this time.
That's nagging me at the back of my mind. That's really all I can think of when it comes to this party.
Yeah, I've got one thing that, you know, sort of gives me an edge, I suppose, even if it's not much of an edge.
Yeah.
But, you know, even if she does notice that I'm there, which hopefully she doesn't, but even if she does, she can't reveal that she knows without revealing that she's not a neonate, basically.
Yeah.
Because I think that requires high levels of things that those particular kindred can do that, you know, your typical neonate wouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, you're quite good at melding into the shadows.
Yeah, literally.
Which, yeah, I have no idea what this party is going to entail, so having some backup in any way, shape, or form is useful, and I appreciate it.
The only backup I can provide is listening to see if she tries anything and then telling you what's happened afterwards so you remember perhaps.
Yeah, I'm planning on trying to record some of it on my camera, but
Good idea.
not sure how much I'll be able to do it and how inconspicuously I'll be able to do it. It's not a
And
small camera, but it's not that big either.
I am willing to step in if things get too out of hand as well. But hopefully
Yeah.
they don't. And she doesn't, I don't know, do anything too drastic. Which is what I'm worried about, given the fact she seems to be really taken with the idea of consumptionism, based on what she said in the prince's office the other night when she wiped all of your memories.
Right. Yeah, that's terrifying. The only thing I can liken this party to is back in Mexico, there was a few warehouse parties that turned Sabat, if you know what I mean. So that's the
Yeah.
only thing I can, in some ways, imagine this, but I don't. She's been in the
Yeah.
camera this entire time, and it's just wow.
We used to have things, well, the closest thing to Camarilla Elysium, but with a lot of consumptionism. It is very, it's a very Sabat thing to do, but I don't think she would really care about any of that sort of stuff too much.
Yeah, I don't think she cares about labels in a sense.
Why would
They're
she?
too old for that.
Yeah, latest trend, and that's all for people like her, really. But yeah, it rings very closely to some of these things that sounds like we have at least seen happen before in the past, which is worrying.
Yeah, I tried to stay out of those. Now I've got an invitation to this.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'd rather be there and listening in the corner than find out after that something terrible has happened. And all of the neonates of the city are either gone or they've all, consumed one another, so there's only half of them left or something.
Something like that, or become an army for Methuselah. There's
Yes,
um,
I don't
not
know. I suppose the sky's the limit with what they can do, I suppose.
yeah, I think this is another situation where I will strap my knife to my back if possible, and maybe some other things. I'm not sure.
It's a good idea. If your friend can sneak illicit substances inside venues, I'm sure you can sneak in a knife or two.
Yeah, the fact, yeah, I'm sure at every single Elysium they do some sort of check, and Aicha is there with her bag of
All of her things.
fun
yes.
stuff. Yeah.
Indeed. All right. Well, I don't want you to be too late. I'll probably trail in behind you whenever
Okay.
you go. Slowly, but I'll find a back way in, something to crawl through or something. Hopefully, I will not see you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't ring well in my mind. I don't think it can go well, but at least we're
Nope,
prepared for it.
Would you like me to send a text to any of the hounds or anything before? Because I know you can't really.
Yes, actually. Maybe just tell Damien to be aware of what's going on. Not to worry yet, but just to not be ignorant or anything like that about anything that could potentially go wrong. Well, it is
Oh.
kind of a potential masquerade breach, having all of these
Yeah.
young kindred gathered around in one place. So
Yeah, all of
you
the
could tell him
inexperienced
that.
ones in one
Yes.
location
Such
doing
things
whatever the hell they're doing.
don't necessarily go down well. So perhaps telling him that it could result in a masquerade breach may alert him, but in a way that seems less suspicious, I suppose.
Yeah, less freaking Helena is running
Indeed.
a party to kill everyone. Yeah,
Yes. Very much
that might be a
that.
little too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just send a text to Damien that goes, "Hey, just a heads up. There's a neonate party going on. Could be a masquerade breach. Irene is chaperoning. Is that a good word? Okay, cool. Chaperoning,
Very good word.
and then dash Irene and B to sign it off.
You just get a simple. It seems like a quick and simple. Okay, maybe he's busy doing something else at the same time, but you do get the response almost immediately. Just okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
What would you
Oh,
like to
well-
do?
How do we plan on getting there? Where is it actually?
Yeah, where is this neonate
It
party?
is actually at an undisclosed. Well, obviously it's disclosed to you guys, but it is it seems like it's at someone's address on the. It would be the north side because it's on the more, it's a larger place. It's one of the homes sort of near yours, but further to the west and further
Mm.
away from Lake Michigan. It's approaching the area where you guys originally had the blood disco way back when.
Okay.
Close to there, one of those sort of outward houses with a lot of space around it as well. But it seems to be just a normal address. There's nothing special about it. It's not a warehouse. It's not a museum. It's not like anything that you'd expect. It's just a house party.
It's really just a frat
Yeah.
party, isn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say this is
Perhaps.
vibes of my rich parents have gone on holidays and I'm
Yeah.
throwing a
Perhaps.
smash
It
up.
definitely does have those sorts of vibes about it.
God, this is gonna
Suppose we could
take me
walk.
back to uni. Yeah, definitely. It's not that far.
No. And gives us a chance to, I don't know, better suss out the route back home if we need to make a quick getaway if push comes to shove.
Right, yeah. No, definitely. That makes sense.
Yes. And to take
Ways
anyone
no
with
way,
us
Suiza.
who may need to get out. Now that we don't have
Oh gosh.
dawn breathing down our necks, it's easier to use our haven for things like this if we need to.
Right, and we've got that secret entrance I found, so
Yeah, true.
should be good. Yeah, I'm just gonna V's just going to grab her hoodie and blazer combo that she wears to most parties, strap on her combat boots, and hide some knives in her clothes.
Okay. We'll make a dexterity larceny for that.
Lovely.
I am eager to see what happens.
Not messy.
Nice.
6. Yeah, 6.
6
Normal
successes.
crit.
You've already done this the night before, and if you can, get away with hiding it from like Primogen at one of their biggest events, Child's Play, and so you set this up just the way that you did earlier. You have full confidence that unless someone physically pats you down, even then maybe they wouldn't do it well enough. They'd have to probably be like airport security using
Oh
metal
yeah,
detectors.
V
and
wears
stuff.
layers.
Yeah, exactly.
The layers will protect me.
They need like metal detectors to find all that stuff. You're very confident in your ability.
Nice. Okay, you ready to go?
Yeah.
I think
let's-
I am. Cool.
We will
And
walk.
we'll start walking there.
Yep.
Okay. Is there any discussion along the way as we're heading there?
I'll just say that I will be listening in, certainly, the whole time, but I will be doing so at a distance if things happen and we need to make a quick getaway. I'm more than happy to reveal myself quickly and grab as many people as I can and leave to keep anything too bad from happening. But I don't know how much help I'll be. I'm mostly just wanting to be there so I can fill people in on things they may have forgotten, shall we say.
Yeah. God, that still messes with me.
I hate
That's
it.
so easy to just make everyone forget. It's mad. Yeah, no, that's good. I'll sign if there's anything anything I spot or anything that needs a more subtle approach.
If you need me to
But
check any place out, you hear anything about a place that could potentially have something in it that we need to look at, I'll be on the lookout for things like that.
On your way
yeah.
there, you pass by a snow-covered small park just off to your left. It's a small, maybe 2 blocks, with a small children's playground. It's got a little sort of sandpit area that's been covered in a tarp to keep all the snow out of it, and some areas around for dogs and such. But it's clear that no one's. There's maybe a couple of footprints around, but you can't see anybody in this current area. And there's this beautiful fountain that has been set up on the far side that has this like little lovely area. It's got lights that actually go through from underneath the water that make it light up as it spurts the water. And it continues to do so to make sure the water doesn't freeze through the whole thing, keeping the pipes running. And as you pass by, you can see that there's like a bunch of coins just rippling in the water underneath as people have been flicking these coins in and out, perhaps making wishes of some kind. And you pass directly through this park as it is the fastest way through, and pass by this particular site. Is there anything you'd like to do here, or you just like to continue going on forward?
Do I notice anything off?
Hmm.
Something that pertains to supernatural influence, or I can't sense the shroud or anything, but are there things, I guess, that are disturbed in a way that may pertain to something
Let's
being here?
let's get a wits awareness,
Mm-hmm. Cool.
because it's just a general check. Um, yeah. So you're standing by this fountain with all these coins in it,
Yeah.
just
Is there any
observing.
animals around?
Good question. It's too cold for any animals to sort of be visible. You'd know that all the rats and such would be underground, trying to keep as warm as they can, probably in a big huddle somewhere. The birds are probably in nests somewhere, or they've flown elsewhere at this particular time.
4 successes.
4 successes.
Yes.
There is something that you do notice, as you're sort of looking around and trying to take in everything around you. There's this, since it's white, snowy, it's difficult to see at first. But Irene, you have a certain relationship with, I guess. No, I won't say it that way. You see it because you just observe this thing that is more difficult to see for some other people. Since it's white and snowy, you look off towards the street and sort of scan all the way down. And as you do so, you notice that there is a small albino squirrel that has actually got its leg caught in one of the grates nearby, and it's sort of struggling to make its way through. And it sort of you sort of fixate on this for a little moment and observe its struggle as it's sort of making its way left and right. Its foot is, it could quite easily turn its foot and let itself be released, but it's almost like it doesn't notice that it's trapped, and it just can't figure out what's holding it back, what won't let it free. Something almost preternatural about this that you're sort of fixated with for a moment.
Yeah, I think she'd sort of gaze at it for a bit in this sort of morbid curiosity.
Mm.
And then go down and try to like free its leg. It's kind of like for her a deliberate decision, like she's weighing up the logistics of do I, don't I, and then it's like, I guess I will since we're here, and I've noticed this thing. It's a pretty place. I'll just whatever. Yeah.
We'll just get simple charisma animal, Ken.
Yeah, sure. Actually, weirdly good at this. That's 5 successes.
Wow,
Yeah.
way more than you needed. As you sort of approach, the animal like stops struggling, almost looks at you with its head on the side, its big sort of bulbous eye, darker. Sorry, it's sort of a red and dark color. As it's an albino animal, looks back at you and sort of would reflect you if you were not the way that you are, which is something you
Yeah.
notice. And you simply reach down. It sort of sniffs your hand as you reach down before it looks away, and that's when you turn its foot very so slightly, and its leg comes up out of the grate, and as it jumps off sort of in that sort of boundy way that squirrels do, it makes it only a very short distance before across the street its leg gets caught again in this other section. It almost hits like goes straight for it, and its leg gets caught in a very strange manner.
Huh. I think she'd look down into the grate and see if she can see anything.
Yeah, no, it's pitch black. If you have any eye abilities, yeah, regardless, you wouldn't see anything. It's just a normal. Doesn't seem like anyone's like playing a prank on these things, or like if anyone was using animalism, why would they do this? It doesn't make any sense. This is just some strange event that you've seemed to come across, and you're not sure if there's something to it or not, but you find yourself fixated by this once again.
Stupid. Been spending far too long debunking strange occurrences, I think. We should go. Sorry, got distracted.
Yeah, sure, okay. It's not in the middle of the road, is it?
No, it's off to the side. The grate is like where all the rainwater flows into. But since it's snowing, there's no water.
Cool.
Only Felix was here. He might be able to speak to the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting so caught up
No, that's
with this. I just feel a bit on edge about everything that's going on, everything that's about to happen.
sometimes the littlest things are the most concerning.
Indeed. Strange omens and things like that, I think, sometimes.
I don't usually believe in omens, but perhaps.
Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. Just like anything, I guess. Probably means they're completely useless and untrue, but still, you spend a lot of time believing in superstition. It's hard to shake old habits, I guess.
Is there anything else you would like to do here, or are we heading off towards...
I don't think there is. At least in my case.
I might have a little peek into the fountain just before we go,
Mm-hmm.
just to have a closer look at it.
Yeah, I'll get a wits investigation, please.
Okay. 3.
3. With 3 successes, it's difficult to see because the water's constantly moving. But closest to you in the water is a coin that like doesn't look like any of the others. All of them are your basic, quarters and such with the Americans, um, and smaller ones as well. But this one is like slightly larger, clearly made of a different material, and you can't quite see it properly from because it keeps rippling, but you can tell that it's different to everything else in this pool.
Irene, is it bad luck if I pick up a coin from a pool if someone's wished for it?
Absolutely, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't.
I'll take that. She picks it up just to have a better look at it.
You don't feel it because you're a kindred. You just reach straight into this icy cold water and pull out the coin. And as you sort of turn it around, it's got this, like most coins, it's got a person's face on it. But the thing is their features are more crooked and more, I guess, like their hair is sort of curly and wavy. They've got this crooked nose and this sort of curled cheek, and you see their ears and their neck all the way down, and they're wearing this almost like a crown made of a single. It's got one leaf on either side all the way around, and it has a language written on it that you do not understand.
Hmm.
And it
What have
seems
you
to be
got?
made of silver.
Does this look familiar to you, Irene?
Does it?
You can make a intelligence occult, or I'll also accept an intelligence academics with a specialty in history.
Intelligence occult. I'm gonna wrap because I'm really curious about this. I don't get hungry. Oh.
All right, these 2 rolls will give you something different as well.
Another 5 successes. These
5
guys are
successes,
rolling
very
well.
Very nice. Being from where you have, where was Irene born?
She was born in the south of Wales.
Yeah, thought so. And she's been around Europe quite a bit, I imagine, as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, she knows exactly what this is. This is called a, if I pronounce this incorrectly, forgive me, it's a denarius. It's a Roman silver coin. Very old, all the way from maybe 211 BC. Really, really ancient. The face is most likely Mithraic, from what
Mm,
you can tell. But you're not sure which figure it is built on, but you can make a reasonable assumption.
yeah, sure. Um, it's a Roman origin.
Like,
I spent a lot of time with Mithraic folks back in the day,
oh
and
no.
I think I recognize the faces. God, they have so many figures. I don't know, either the man himself or that Cappadocia. I don't know, but
Huh.
it's from that sort of time period, or those people at least. Your friend, the that Banu Hakim, right?
Arjun. Yeah.
Yeah. He approached you about that sort of thing, didn't he? Not too long ago.
Yep. But why would he throw a coin into a fountain?
Unless he knew you were coming this way. It's hard to
Oh
say.
god, I hope not.
It'd be a little bit invasive, perhaps.
Well, the whole, force feeding, well, not force feeding, but tricking me into drinking Mithras's blood is also a little invasive, so
I think they are
wouldn't put
pretty
it past
invasive
him.
as a rule, those people. Don't know much
Huh.
about physical or mental boundaries.
Well, Might give it to Joseph as a souvenir. She flicks it and puts it in her pocket.
He'd
Mhm.
probably like that.
As with when you picked it up, you flick it, catch it, it lands face up. You put it into your pocket. And our kindred travel through the night after seeing these strange occurrences. They can hear different parties going on throughout the streets as they go through. Um, as this is the time of the year when also all the universities are done with their finals, people have finished high school and such, so there's a lot of celebrations happening at this time of year. Um, and they make their way through until they find the address, which is a very similar to your own home, except the difference is that it's all flat. There's no hill that you go up to. There is quite a large, front yard and backyard area. There's a pool in the back. There's all these exotic trees and such around. And there's quite a lot of people here, actually, more than you expected. There's probably about, I want to say, around 50, 55 people all around this place. There'd be, 30, 35 inside the house itself, some in the pool, some elsewhere, um, all over the place. And there's more people arriving as you guys are arriving as well. Seems like the invitations went pretty far all over. And as you make your way through, there's the sound of very modern music pumping its way through, very heavy bass, very techno focused. For you, Irene, it's probably just a bunch of loud sounds with no particular nuance to them. And not too dissimilar to the Succubus Club itself. Except, a bit more on the cutting edge, like the newest new track that just dropped and everybody's listening to it, that sort of thing. Whereas the Succubus Club appeals to a wider
Yeah.
demographic. And as you're making your way through, you only find a few of the neonates around. Now, there's quite a few figures here. Quite a few people that you don't recognize, but there are a few people that you do. And
I'm gonna yeet before we
Yeah,
reach this place.
Just
so
as I'm
nobody sees
entering the
me.
door, I'm like, disappear.
Absolutely. So you're going to use your Oblivion ability.
Oui, Tenebra's avatar.
Make your 2
Woohoo.
rouse checks. Aicha is definitely here.
Hell yeah.
She's
I was
having a
just about to
great
text her.
time. She's in the kitchen,
Of course.
doing certain things
Oh
and
my god.
mix
Mixing some brews.
mixing some stuff together and like passing it to people and such. Who else is here?
I'm already at hunger 3. Let's go.
Oh, whoopee.
Francois Mamualdo is here as well. This very muscular person in this beautiful pink scaly dress, making their way through with this sort of fedora hat on the top as well that they might have taken from someone else who's in the party elsewhere, having a wonderful time. There's a woman you haven't seen before who's sort of standing to the side. Actually, there's quite a few people you guys haven't seen before, to be fair. This particular woman is olive skin. She's got bright green eyes and this sort of braided hair that's really long that goes all the way down to her waist. Goes down across her right hand side. She's wearing a red dress that's very sort of a bit more red shirt and jeans. Very casual wear. Nobody's wearing anything apart from Francois. Very like over the top. Everyone's sort of very casual with their wear. Hoodies, jeans, some people wear very casual dresses and such. Not a lot of the kindred that you're used to are here. Like I can just flick through this book and there's barely any of these people here. She's the main one you know. Aicha's in the kitchen doing her thing. Is there anyone you're particularly looking for while I flip through and tell you who's
I
here?
want to see if Olivia's still alive.
Oh,
Hey.
Olivia is definitely around. So is so many names. So is Valerie. You see Valerie here as well.
Oh yeah.
Valerie
She's
for
not
this.
baby.
Olivia Moss is the Toreador who did the not so swell performance from last time. Valerie is a Salubri that Coterie saved quite some time ago from its meat.
Saved.
Thea is here as well. She's
Saved.
having an absolute
God.
blast with Aicha in the kitchen as well.
Makes sense.
Rowan, the Nosferatu, is here as well. And other than that, I don't believe there are many other people.
I'm assuming
No.
Portia is here.
Portia is here, absolutely. Yeah, wow. Not many people. Sunshi is here.
Okay.
We love.
Other than that, I believe that's everybody. And there's a few other faces, obviously, that you've never seen before.
Totally fair.
Sorry, the Hurricane is here as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's it. There's like barely any like Chicago figures because most figures in Chicago are elders or ancillary.
Yeah, they're old as heck.
They're all elders, pretty much. This is the shining city, after all. And so there's barely any people that you really talk to regularly around this area. And there's quite a lot, like humans everywhere. But there's this almost like we'll deal with it afterwards sort of feeling to this whole thing. People are led into side rooms. They're looking like they're kissing, but obviously doing something else and such. It's very like fast and loose and young and just have fun in the moment in this particular scene. How successful were we, Irene, on that check?
Which check was I making? Sorry.
Yeah, the Oblivion roll.
Do I need to make a roll, or does it
You
just
just need-
take a turn?
It takes a turn, and just with the rouse checks, I mean.
Oh, I failed one and I succeeded on the other, so I'm at 3 hunger.
Fantastic. Makes sense with all the young people around, all these flashing lights as well. There's a
Yeah.
lot of light shows on, and like these weird orbs that have all these lights on them that as they spin, they show lights in all the places of the room that you just want nothing to do with. And
It's very strange.
these red
phenomenon.
cups everywhere. It's bizarre. And so
Technology.
Oh boy,
And
there's like a ping pong table with red cups on it. I
Yes.
don't
Yeah,
understand.
absolutely. There's some weird rituals going on that you want nothing to do with this generation. Whatever that might involve. And as you slip into the shadow, become the shadow, and you can crawl along any of the surfaces as long as you keep to the corners. All the lights are generally on in this area, but they're not those like super illuminated lights. They've actually like they're the ones that you can turn the nozzle, the dial down, and they get dimmer. So they're all quite dim in this area, except around the pool area, which is quite well lit up. Everywhere else, you have free reign to go to. Is there anyone in particular either of you would like to begin? Just observing what's going on and such. Or you
I think I'm
after?
heading to the kitchen. I
Mm.
don't know what Irene would like to do.
I just like to gather snippets of conversations, probably mostly from like Olivia and Portia,
Mhm.
and yeah, I guess mostly those two. I suppose.
Sure. Just another wits awareness for
Yep.
that one. And V, you step into the kitchen, and Aicha and Thea are sort of arguing over something, and Aicha is, as soon as you approach, you understand. Aicha is pouring all of these things into this big sort of punch bowl. She's got vodka. She's got tequila. She's got Midori. All these like things, and she is just putting it all in there. There's barely any like juice or anything in there. It is like pungent. And Thea's like talking to her and saying, "This is not how you make a drink. This is not how you do it." And Aicha is arguing with her while looking away and just pouring all these things and being like, "I know exactly what I'm doing, Thea. I've done this a million times before. You make it super strong, and then you tell the humans to drink it, and it is hilarious. It is so good.
Alcohol poisoning.
It is
Nothing's funnier than
so
alcohol
funny."
poisoning.
And as soon as you arrive, Thea sort of turns to you and just shrugs.
You making a fishbowl there?
Aisha just simply says, "I don't think fish would survive in this very well."
I don't think anyone would survive with that very well.
We'd be probably fine, but it'd probably suck afterwards.
Yeah.
She's swaying, her eyes are like looking in different directions, and her voice is just changing tones consistently. Clearly intoxicated to some nth degree.
You doing okay? You good?
I'm totally fine.
Good to
Thea
hear it.
just looks over and says she had a lot of pre-drinks before she came here. And it is delightful, I must admit.
It wouldn't it wouldn't be a party if there wasn't pre-drink.
That's very true. Perhaps I'm missing out.
Yeah. Go wild, I guess. This is a neonate party.
I think I will do that. And she looks across at someone you can't quite see, smiles slightly, and just walks off in that sort of direction. Aicha just continues looking at you. She puts her hand on your shoulder, and this Midori just pours all the way in until there's none of it left. It is just a green and sort of orange alcohol mix. There's probably a bit of juice in there, but it's so like the smell is almost making you drunk by itself.
This is quite something. Whose house is this anyway? Whose alcohol are you rating?
She shrugs and just like points at this sort of glass cabinet that's been opened, and like the lock has been smashed. It's open. All these bottles are everywhere. People have been taking all these things, and there's like only some like really fancy like whiskey or something that's like super expensive that's been left there. Otherwise, everything's been taken. And she just points over there and says, people just hand it to me. I just put it in here.
Okay. Well, yeah. That's keeps looking at the fishbowl full of alcohol.
Trust me,
Cool,
it is so good. When you've got to like, you know how people do that thing where they drink the stuff and then have the thing with it. You know what I'm talking about.
Do I know
There's
what you're talking about, Aicha?
there's the thing. She picks up a lime and like holds it in front of you. This and the salt and the everything. What you
Oh,
do?
like shots.
That's the one. If you hang on a second. She turns towards someone else and says, "Shut the fuck up," and just turns back and says, "If you make them drink that and then instantly drink from them, oh, it's good. It's really good."
Oh damn! Like our own version of shots, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. You are innovative, Aicha. I will give you that.
You know, you are fantastic. You always compliment me on things, but I never compliment you on things. Hey, I'm gonna set someone up, and you're gonna drink straight off of them, okay? Hang on, be right back. And she just lumbers off elsewhere into the party.
Oh my god.
Hurtful.
Irene, how many successes?
3.
3 successes. It's not very hard for you to hear all the conversations happening between all these people, kindred and the like. Olivia seems to be in good spirits tonight. She seems to be feeling quite herself.
Good.
Portia's staying next to her and just like, occasionally, reaches over and like takes her hair out of her face because she's like drinking a lot and seems to be sort of like bodyguarding her because occasionally some boys will come up to her or some girls and she'll just step in front of them and wave her hands in front of them and say something and then they'll walk away and do something else and then they'll challenge each other to some games and such. There's nothing really worth listening to, if that makes sense. It's very, very like
Shallow stuff.
casual and shallow and just but I will get you to make a wits insight check though.
Okay. Yay.
V, in the meantime, I'll get you to make another wits awareness, please.
Lovely. Ah. Well, it was bound to happen. Messy critical.
Messy.
5 successes.
too.
Yay!
Messy critical. In this particular scenario, both of you are going to have a hunger compulsion because
Yeah,
there is
okay.
blood flowing all around you,
Mm.
and you just have to take it while it's there. It's free, and they are willing. Why would you not? Your beast, like, purrs almost, and is such ease of what they need, and is in its element, and you can feel your like when you've worked for a long day or you've gone out without a water bottle. There's that dryness, that part of your mouth that really desires water, and you know that the blood is going to taste extra good because you are so thirsty, so hungry for this. So any action not taken towards getting food will have a -2 dice penalty. So how many successes for each of you?
8.
8 successes. When you observe Olivia and Portia, it's clear that Portia is not actually redirecting people who are interested in Olivia, like as part of an attraction. It's that they want to talk to her about something, and there's the same individuals that actually keep coming back trying to talk to her, and
Oh.
Portia is consistently redirecting them, and she has this strong apathy for these people, and is just, as soon as they approach, her face drops, she waves her hand, and she turns them away. And then 10 minutes later, they return and try to do the same thing. She's getting very frustrated after a while, but it's the same people over and over and over. And you also recognize that there are like those friend groups around that are like clustered elsewhere in certain corners that are talking about certain things that consist entirely of kindred, that are sort of making eyes at these sort of other sort of clumps of kindred. There's clearly some unspoken tension around this party that you're not quite sure why that is. V, on the other hand, you were making wits awareness. That woman that I described earlier with the red shirt and the jeans and the braided hair down to the side is sort of eyeing you cautiously from the side. She gives you a bit of a smile as she sees Aicha sort of walking off from you. Seems a very genuine smile. But she doesn't come to approach you. She just holds a drink in her hand that has been, it's probably lukewarm by now. She's not even touching it. She's just holding it to seem like she belongs. Her body language is very open. She holds the drink down to her side. She seems very open and approachable if you decide to, but she doesn't direct it towards you. It's sort of towards anybody around the area. And before we go any further, I think now is when we're going to take our break. It's a bit of an early one, I apologize, but it'll be 5 to 7 minutes. so we can get our third player in and we can take our bathroom breaks now as the party unravels. But we'll see you in 5 to 7 minutes.
That's good.
See you in a moment. And we are live again. Welcome, Joseph Martinez, to this session, and welcome back, everybody, to this a party like no other, as we say. So before we continue that, I'll just quickly cut over to Mr. Martinez and ask what Joseph Martinez is doing this night.
I definitely would have offered wards and such to the group. Like, I was listening as the conversation was happening before the prep thing, and I was like,
Let me ward your shit.
Would any of you like wards before this party?
yes. The question would be,
Definitely, I'd take a ward.
yeah, and you want it on the bottom of your shoes. Is that right?
Just
So
like
you want
any-
it
like
on
the
your
place that you would
shoe.
grab.
Yeah.
When you grab a shoe, that location.
Cool. I think you would probably do it on your sock because
I have
there's
boots
at
that
least
go over my socks.
yeah. The thing is, you're going to a party. He knows parties, and sometimes people fuck around and play
Probably
around
knows
with you.
parties
And if
more
you get
than
like
me.
pushed over and you're pouncing around or something, and one of them grabs your foot, their hand's gonna explode.
You're soaring,
So-
leaping around.
Yeah. So he's gonna put it in so that if somebody grabs you hard enough to go through your shoes, which is what they need to like pull you down, it will then do something. So with all of the he'd probably do some on your socks. You already have the one on your dagger. Would you want anything on your clothes? And Irene, would you want something on your like dress? I don't know.
I don't.
It's fine if you don't. I'm just offering. I need to know how many frenzy checks I need to do.
Yeah.
By the way, everybody, we all reset ourselves to hunger 1 because of the parties, and then we just made a rouse check
Oh,
because
yes,
of
let me
you.
do
So you
that.
go to hunger
Any
1 and you
healing
just make a
and
rouse check. Yeah.
And it's a successful round.
Yeah, so you're just
I'm
on hunger 1. Yep.
Cool.
V can do all of hers first if you still have enough like
The thing is, I
Well,
need
I don't want
to do it.
anything on like here because it's a party. People might like grab you. They're all drunk.
think
don't
it's
want
gonna
someone to grab
be-
me unexpectedly. And
what do
then
you use to strap your knife to yourself? Like sticky tape, or are you using like a elastic
expose me.
something?
It's
I don't
fucking
know.
duct tape.
Duct tape.
It's-
I can ward the duct tape. Like,
Sure, why the hell?
I need to know how big to make the fire because I need the ash of a warm fire. So he'd be like, "Cool, this is how much. Everyone get out of the room." Would light a huge fire, shield his face. And then just as it goes out, he would like have all the socks and everything. I'm gonna make success, failure, and success. So I'm doing socks, duct tape, and Irene, you don't need anything.
I will get one on my dress. Oh,
Cool, and dress.
just in
So
case.
I got 2 successes and a failure, so my hunger goes up. Now I need to do 3 frenzy checks, which should be fine, but could go poorly. So it is unspent willpower, which is everything.
Don't forget to regain your willpower, everyone. It's composure resolve, whichever is highest.
Mhm.
Oh, highest. Lovely.
And at 7 humanity, I believe I get 2 extra dice.
Yes, you do.
Imagine getting extra dice for frenzy rolls. Like, whom's does she?
How many do I need to get?
Which ritual is this?
It is a this is ward against kindred and K-Knight, and it is a fear frenzy against the like heat of the recently put out fire that like you have to resist the urge to frenzy to do.
Right. So that is difficulty 2 for that one.
Cool. And like bestial stuff doesn't happen on these, right?
You can
No.
bestially fail, and you can
Okay,
crit
you
on these
can.
ones.
Okay, cool. Just
I
go
don't
for
think
these.
you use hunger dice for frenzy checks.
I know you don't use hunger. Sorry, you are
Cool.
correct. You don't use hunger dice for frenzy checks.
If I only need 2 successes, I can just take half and easily pass all of these. Is that allowed?
You
Is that
can't take half on frenzy checks. I'm afraid.
Not on willpower.
fair?
They
Fair.
are only on because this is a check.
Yeah.
Like skills and stuff. You can take
Oh,
half.
skill.
on.
Yes. Cool. I got a minimum of 4 in all of those.
You
so-
are perfectly
um,
within control of yourself during this
Yes.
time as you do so. You've done this a million times before, and
Yep.
you have one of those modern heater fire things, so you can just fill it with logs. They'll burn in a very safe place behind there. You can easily take the ash of that afterwards.
So socks watered, dress watered, duct tape watered. Actually, that might be cute. Instead of just straight up duct tape across your back, it's probably like he's organized it so that it's not literally a knife duct tape to your back. There's like a little bit of art to it. Dope.
You'd
And
be
with
ripping
that,
it off.
is there anything that you guys would have needed from Joseph before going?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah. Bye. Have fun.
Enjoy your
I
night.
salute you.
Yep.
Let's go.
Okay.
Have my phone if
Things-
you need it.
Yeah, things progress. We pass through the park and get all those strange things happening before we arrive there. Where we last left off, Irene, you were a shadow observing the
Yeah.
strange
Literally.
subtext that is around this party. There seems to be groups that have a silent animosity around them, and you can feel it in the air as you sort of observe across these little groups that have formed around these different things. They don't seem to have anything like, it's not anarchs, it's not, Camarilla. There's something else that you can't sense. It's not like, boys, girl. It's not
Mhm.
anything to do with that. There's something unspoken that these, and they are giving eyes to each other occasionally. And there's the one group that continues to go back to Olivia every 10 minutes or so. V, and you see this woman across the area. It's up to you if you want to approach her or just leave her to her thing. There's a lot of people that you can also talk to here as well.
Is she talking to anyone currently? Or
Not
is she just standing?
currently. Seems like she's sort of also doing a surveillance, like making sure everyone's okay. She seems to be checking up on someone who's like not looking okay, and then they've got a friend with them. She's looking at someone else across the room, etc.
Yeah, I'll approach her.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little friendly wave as I walk to her.
Yeah. As you approach her, she raises her head up in acknowledgement and turns her body to face you and simply says, "Ah, V, pleasure is all mine."
Oh, sorry, I don't believe we've met. You already
No.
know my name's V. Nice to meet you.
I'm Mercy. Nice to meet you. She holds out her hand to shake. How are you? Finding the party enjoyable?
Yeah, it's interesting. Haven't been to one of these in a while.
No,
So,
neither have I really. But just been keeping an eye out on everything. I hope you've got Aicha's back throughout all this. She is not been here very long and is
Yep.
already looking quite poor.
oh yeah, I'll be keeping tabs on her all night.
I'm glad.
I am sure of that.
Well, she's lucky to have a friend like you.
Thanks. You come here with anyone?
No, I just came here of my own volition. Just wanted to see how the younger, kindred of the city sort of handle things and where they're at and whatnot, and see if any of my people are here too, so that I can take care of them.
Your people, as in.
Oh, I am surprised that you haven't heard of me. I'm a social worker in the area as well.
Oh,
There's a lot
Okay.
of a
Why
lot of
the fuck's she allowed to be here?
she's
I
literally
am going to
been
mute
here for so
myself. If you
long.
see me talking, it is deliberately.
I'm amazed we've never met her. He just says a lot of a lot of the humans here I'm just taking care of, making sure that they're okay and that nothing happens to them.
right. Yeah. Well, that's a very noble thing of you to do.
It's the least I can do. I guess you would see it as upholding our traditions, but I see it as just basic human decency. I'm
Hmm.
not sure. What would you consider it, V?
A little bit of A, a little bit of B.
Hmm.
So, it's in our best interests to not be total dicks.
It's a very mature response.
Well, I don't think I'm the oldest neonate here, but sometimes I feel like it.
Yeah, it does sort of feel like that, doesn't it? A lot of them, well, they don't often get these opportunities to unwind. You see, with the, I'm sure you know all about it. The constant weight of the world of Chicago here is heavier than a lot of the other cities across
Yeah.
America.
Yeah, and I think we saw a display of it last night, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot of good from either side, if you ask me.
No, I hope you don't mind me asking, but what side are you on?
I can't be on either, really, as a matter of self-respect, I think. Camarilla won't accept me, and the Anarchs are just a bunch of bullies. So I
Right.
just help myself and the people that I work with.
Yeah, fair. Fair indeed.
Mm. Well, if you
Hmm.
need any help doing anything, obviously I can only give you so much, but I'm around. Consider
Yeah.
me just a voice to talk to and listen.
Well, I will probably be back here then.
Glad to hear it. And like I said, I don't align with any of this, so nice neutral party to talk to is always important, I think.
Yeah. Indeed. Okay, well, I'll see you soon. Or sometime tonight.
You'll see me around.
Probably should track down Aisha. Just
I
in
think
case.
she made her way upstairs, so probably best you
Yep,
check on
going
her.
upstairs.
Enjoy the party.
Yep.
As you make your way upstairs, Irene, what are you doing in this particular moment?
She has a hunger compulsion,
Mm.
so she is going to try and find a person, if anyone is kind of at least on their own. A good thing about Tenebra's avatar is you can actually feed on humans while you are,
Yes, you can.
yeah.
Oh damn.
So she is just, even if she just like wraps herself around like their leg or something like that, very subtly is going to try and find somebody to feed on
Super
where she is.
easy for you to do without a check at all.
Mm.
Finding someone by themselves, like making your way up under the clothes and wrapping a
Yeah.
shadow around their leg to slowly drain off of them. You can
Mm.
take it takes a bit longer, I believe, to do so.
Yeah, it's a longer process.
Yeah, but even still, so subtle. There's so many noises and stuff going on that without a check at all, you can slake 2 hunger quite easily. Off of split between people.
Mm. Yeah, so she'd just do that while she's moving around listening to see if she picks up any more interesting snippets of political conversation that might
Mm.
pertain to this weird like dynamic that's going on in here,
I
or
might.
something more general.
Your choice between intelligence politics or intelligence occult.
Okay. I'll do occult because I'm better at that.
Sure. V, you make your way upstairs. There is, some marker on the walls. There's some people talking on the stairs that refuse to get out of your way until you actually, wave your hands in front of them and they realize that you're there and you pass your way up on these sort of carpeted stairs and such, making your way up. You can hear the barking of a dog that's been, locked in a room upstairs somewhere, probably a small one. And this is where you find Aicha. She's on all fours and she's just looking at the dog in its eyes. It's barking at her, and she's just like asking it questions like, "Why are you up here? Like, do you need some more food? Do you want something? Like, are you okay?" "Oh, V, hello. This is my
Hey.
friend, Dog."
Nice to meet you, dog.
It
Aicha.
barks at you as well. Like a small white,
Um,
very fluffy, one of those typical, very well groomed, like almost like a cloud. It's tiny,
Like a crusty-eyed dog or a fluffy dog?
fluffy dog.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
can live. It can live.
Ooh.
Crusty-eyed
Ooh.
dogs are
What is
gross. They're gross.
Damn.
Very well, you may live.
You are fluffy and not crusty-eyed. You may pass.
Oh, passes the humanity check. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And she sort of stands up and looks at you.
Hey, you wanna come maybe downstairs?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Cool. I'll wrap one arm
Mhm.
around her
Mhm.
and let's go downstairs.
Yeah, she's
I'm sure there's
continuing
some
to
cool people down there.
babble about all these weird things. This guy came to my place and I hooked him up with some stuff and he paid me way more than he should, but I kept it anyway. I feel kind of bad about that, but I don't because I really needed it. And then by that time, you're already sort of downstairs. And what would you like to do here with her?
Uh, maybe just get her into a quieter corner
Hmm.
of the
This-
place.
Some nice couches in the living room where there's a big, flat screen TV and such. Everything's very fancy, very expensive here. There's a few people talking around here, but it's a bit quieter, a bit darker. And as soon as you sort of bring her over to one of these really comfy chairs, she just flumps down straight into it and leans all the way back and lies all the way back into it, stretching out, just like looking at things. She immediately reaches over and grabs the remote and just starts flicking through channels on the television looking for something interesting. Eventually lands on like one of those late night, like top Spotify 10 or whatever sort of things that plays the same song 3 times in the next 20 minutes. And just sits on that and just watches. She doesn't actually say anything. She just like frowns and like tilts her head slightly as that's playing. And as you're doing so, Irene, how many successes?
4.
4. There's a name that's while you're feeding on this particular human, they get involved in this sort of, they get close to this group, and you take the opportunity to sort of almost slingshot yourself as the shadow to sort of pass between one to the other. You're very good at this, and you manage to make your way to one of these groups that's side eyeing the others, and you hear this. They're sort of talking amongst each other, and there's 2 men, 3 women, and they're all sort of talking amongst each other. One of the men is saying, like, didn't really expect that they'd show up tonight. Like, I thought that we wouldn't have to deal with this tonight, but apparently we do. So we'll just have to wait, I guess. And one of the women growls, "It's those fucking Manelians. I don't even know what we're going to do about them."
Hmm.
Right. Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. Okay. I see.
Mm.
I feel like she would understand the reference to Menil for sure. But
Mm.
yeah, that's interesting. Once she's finished feeding and she's heard that there are like Methuselah cults here. Um,
Yeah,
Ones
indeed.
that kind of directly oppose Helena, right?
yes,
They do, actually.
Indeed.
Love.
Yeah, and Helena is also here.
Helena
Yes,
is,
yeah.
quite.
Ugh.
That's coincidental.
Yeah.
To be clear, this is not the group that keeps approaching Olivia.
Thank goodness.
No.
I look
Right.
at Mercy. I look away.
Yeah, indeed. She's got far more Manilian energy than
I give you permission to ask her about Joseph as well. Just to be like, social worker, do you know about Joseph? And she'll be like, oh, what? Lift
Just
me
I
up.
thought you were going to say I give you permission to kill her, but okay.
No,
Yeah.
no. Manilians are chill. They're chill. They're chill.
in that case, if she sort of hears that these are like the group of Manilians are over there and these guys are like opposing them, I think she'd just sort of wait and hang back and see if anything sort of escalates between them, essentially,
Mhm.
or if any more information is revealed, anything like that.
Mm.
I think that's what she would do.
Yeah.
Making herself very,
You can
you know,
definitely see that the people that they're eyeing are like out by the pool and are like, very like flirtatious and like big personality
Yeah.
extroverts who are like drawing in a lot of humans and such all around them. And as you do that, you are approached by this dark-skinned woman with this at the roots. It's sort of a dark brown color, but it has been dyed this bright pink. It's this huge curly, not quite an afro, but it's like almost there. It's very buffy curly hair, and she's wearing this black and pink sort of tight shirt that's almost look like it's made of like one of those glossy plasticky materials, and is wearing these sort of loose blue pants with big sort of almost worker boots at the bottom. And she sort of makes her way over and sort of watches Aicha, cocks her head to the side, looks at you, gives you a smile, just says, "She okay?"
I think so.
She doesn't
Just
look like
needs
it.
to. Time is the only solution for this problem.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be fine.
Haven't seen you around one of these before.
First time invite.
Really?
Gotta say. Yeah, you do this often?
Sometimes. It's a bit of fun to unwind, I think. But, I'm only here with Jenny, and she points over to this young Asian woman who's in this business attire. She's got like a black suit jacket over with a white shirt. The tie is missing. The top button is unbuttoned, and she's wearing black business pants with black shoes. Like she almost came from an office to here, and she's got these sort of thick, round black glasses and short black hair down to her shoulders. And she has this book open, and she's talking to someone next to her, and she's just pointing fervently at this particular thing, and seems to be explaining everything about this book to this person who is nodding, smiling, and taking a sip, and then looking away, trying to escape this conversation as quickly as possible.
I want to be this so bad. Oh, I want to be this so bad. I love her, whoever she is.
Your friend just come from book club?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it feels like they always come from book club. Surprised than a librarian, but something stereotypical like that. They'd love working in a bookstore, but I don't know. Enough about me. Who are you?
I go by V. I'm just a neonate at this party.
That's right. I've heard about you. I've heard your name floating around a little bit.
There's a lot of rumors. That's for sure. that was part of a coterie, no longer just having a chill night.
They say that you're a up and comer, but I don't see that. I see you've already taken that place. I can see that fire in you. See it in your eyes.
Okay. Well, thanks, I guess. Uh,
She sort of cocks her head to the side, looks you up and down, but has a big smile across her face and just says, "What clan are you?"
Banu Hakim.
Of course, of course. We all just managed to attract to it. I imagine she is as well.
Why'd you ask?
We just happen to find each other all the time, don't we? I'm also a Banu Hakim.
Ah. Well, then, yeah, actually, definitely. We're just a group of Banu Hakim, then, I guess.
It's always funny how we always manage to just group together and find each other. Like there's something in the blood, I suppose. It's lovely to meet
Would
you.
not surprise me. Yeah, nice to meet another of the clan. I think because there's so little of us in Chicago and America in general
That's
that we all flock together somehow.
That's right. We've had such an issue getting here in so many different ways, but we make it here nonetheless, and we have to stick together these nights, don't we? Not many of us.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Wow, I didn't know that there were any other Banu Hakim in the area. I only know of maybe 3.
3. I know just you two, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's
Well, then I'll make that 4 now.
fantastic. Well, I'm just sorry. I'm going to stay here a little bit. I'm not too eager to go back to my little group just yet.
Your group.
Jenny and one of the others here. Can't
Like a
really-
coterie or
No, not a coterie. That's a Camarilla word.
what's the an anarch equivalent?
No, we're just by ourselves.
Okay. Interesting.
We just stick together. It's easier to survive that way, I think. Power in numbers and all that. Besides, Jenny's, I don't know, she's something special. Again, looks over at her. She has like moved on to someone else and has picked up a different book from somewhere. You're not sure where. She seems to be explaining all the intricate details about it to this other person. But as soon as you see them sort of lull in concentration, she closes the book and like holds it up to her chest and then pulls them closer and sinks her fangs into their neck as soon as she's almost like bored them to death in a way.
Didn't know boredom was a feeding type.
Mm. Meanwhile,
Loves that phlegmatic deliciousness, I guess.
I
There's a lot of mixing political stances here, and it's making me very comfortable.
Irene, are you simply just trying to observe what's happening between these two groups?
Essentially, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to make sure that nothing bad happens. Or
Mhm.
if something bad happens, I'm ready to react quickly,
Mm-hmm.
essentially.
There seems to be, as soon as they start talking amongst themselves, they split off and start to make their way through the crowd a lot more. One of the men just like, stands up on one of the tables and just rips his shirt off. Just shouts at his huge, like muscular, lean, like a swimmer sort of build. And everyone just goes,
Nice.
yeah, and just starts like gathering around them and turning up the music and enjoying themselves as the other people sort of do similar things. One of the girls goes up to another one of the girls at the party, drags them close, and just starts kissing them. One of the men goes out to the pool and starts to try and like draw people away from the other group. Seems like they're fighting for like attention, but in a different way. The ones at the pool are like talking more in like big ways about big ideas. Very much that student like politics got to change. We've got to change all these things, and these people are just they're all very beautiful, and they're all just showing themselves off or doing these outrageous things that garner more attention. And that's when you see that flicker of the other group that actually almost all at once just flick and look back at that group at the same time, and that tension sort of rises in the air. But just for you, no one else notices this.
It's the Helena people versus the Menil people. This is fine.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Black.
It is specifically those ostentatious, like big personality people that Portia is consistently turning away because they're coming to Olivia.
Mm-hmm. Right, indeed. As
Time
in,
to
like
introduce another political stance. You're like,
Yeah.
everyone, come stand in the void with me.
I can make it
Have you heard of
true.
the
You
Lamb?
should have invited Little Lamb.
I should have. That would have been so fun. Everyone would have hated that, but we would have been
Everyone just
Bring the
likes that.
tap. Mm.
Yeah, I want to try and find V.
Yeah. It's very easy. You see, you actually see V in the lounge, and Ike is like standing up and like pointing the remote at the television, trying to see how she points it, if she can still change the channels, and like putting it behind her back, and like putting it outside and whatnot, and trying to do that. Well, there's this other dark-skinned woman with that pink hair and that almost plasticky shirt with baggy, sort of almost like denim-colored pants with the work boots, talking to V very casually. Both her hands are in her pockets, but her thumbs are out, and she's sort of leaning back in a very casual manner. She seems very happy, but you notice, Irene. Actually, I'll get a wits insight. I'll get a wits insight from you. Meanwhile, is Joseph up to anything during the nighttime? Is there anything that he's up to?
Yes. He is at the university, and he is going to get in contact with Penelope White, because they met at one point, and they share a class together, and he is still studying anthropology, and they're in the same class together. So he wants to kind of organize like a little study date with her, because he wants to just learn more about her. So he's going to go to the university, be like, hey, do you want to meet up for a little study thing? I'm a little stumped by some of the cultural sides of this, and I know that you were super into that. I'm doing more of the like biological sides. So do that, meet up, and through studying, also get to know her.
Yeah. Which I think we'll explore another time.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other plans during the night? Any sort of discussions, or is it some downtime that you're taking?
It's a very deliberate time spent with her. Like he's sussing out who his child is going to be, and she is the one that has interested him most in class. I think because in some of the classes, he deliberately tries to mention occulty stuff in lectures, just to be like, I heard the cultural aspect of cults forming, and registering people's responses to that in the class, and her response was probably most favorable. And so he's like, cool, we're gonna meet up. And yeah, that is it. He is doing that, and then trying to suss out her occult knowledge at the same time, see where she sits, and then possibly by the end of the night feed her some blood.
Yeah, okay. Um, I'd say we'll do a relevant like intelligence academics with your theology, and also just the charisma persuasion. I think as well with that one as well. See how well it goes overall.
Yes.
Irene, you attach yourself to V's shadow in this time. How many successes on your insight?
6.
6. Her eyes don't leave V's eyes at all. She doesn't blink. She's just looking like consistently. Not in a hungry fashion, perhaps. It's more like she's hungry for V's attention, and like there's something she wants to say, but she's just basking in it at the moment and is sort of just doing her best to remain relaxed, but you can tell she's actually quite tense in like the left side of her body, which is sort of the right hand side's facing V and the left side's facing back towards the party. Like she's constantly aware of what's happening around her, or there's something that's constantly on her mind.
Cool. I want to try and do something that's probably going to be really tricky.
Okay.
I want to like maneuver myself so behind where this woman is, so she's not going to be looking at me. So like on the wall behind her, and then use like shadow performance to like make sign language to tell V that there is like a political like
School
School
conclave
of
happening
Fish in Finding
downstairs.
Nemo.
Yeah.
The shape.
All right.
Cryptolect certainly would help.
Yeah.
A little.
Let's get a wits oblivion check, please.
Okay, that's interesting.
You're already a shadow, so it's not too difficult to shape them around you, or
Yeah.
even to communicate in like Morse code, in like flickering the light bulb in a certain way or shadow casting them in certain directions. Yeah,
Mm.
be an easier one especially because Cryptolect as well will help.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
It's easy. V, as you're sort of listening, you're very an alert person, and off to
Especially this
behind,
party.
behind the wall, as the TV is flickering sort of on and off between channels, you get blinks of this communication of Irene's. What exactly are you trying to communicate, Irene?
She would say like I guess two groups, cults question mark, downstairs, one of them following Manil, Bruja Methuselah, and another one possibly Helena. Tension,
Enemies.
like yeah, really really bad enemies, like sort of filling in her in on the context as much as I can in this like weird communication method, I guess. Yeah,
With 6, it's not going to be too specific, but it'll be
No.
exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
It's almost like a scene out of a film. As the channels change, the shadows spell out a word every single time that changes. With each time the channel flashes on, it illuminates the area, and then when it goes dark, another word is there, and it lights on and then it lights off until there's nothing left. You get exactly what Irene just said.
Finishes on
So-
Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting as the song.
No, just hear
Yeah.
crashing from downstairs, like oh god.
Hey, do you know many of the people at this party? Like, have you come in contact with this group or this crowd in previous
These ones?
parties?
No, not really. They're not really my sort of crowd, I don't think. He sort of looks at one of the groups, looks at the other, shakes her head. Like I said, I'm here with Jenny.
Yeah. Okay. Just these people are all very new to me. I'm trying to get a lay of the land, so to speak.
Yeah, probably don't want to talk to. She points to one of the person with his shirt off, and like one of the girls making out with another girl in the corner. Don't want to speak to those guys. They're sort of their own sort of
Yeah.
group, and I don't know, very, very toxic people. And she turns around and points to the other people outside who are having like deep, philosophical but also like political discussions. They talk a lot and don't really do a lot of things. So, I mean, it doesn't really seem like your style.
Didn't realize there were so many cliques here.
Yeah, there's a lot here tonight, especially.
Anything special about tonight other than it being a neonate party?
No idea. Just see a lot of people going and talking to that one. She points at Olivia, sort of off to the side, wearing sort of a yellow shirt and just some dark jeans. Very sort of slim fitting and comfy, casual. Portia next to her as well. Not sure
They
what the
usually.
Hmm?
Oop. I was just gonna say, is it usually like these parties go down well, right?
Oh yes, usually, but I've never seen all these groups together before, so I don't know how that's going to turn out. I'm interested to find out though.
Cool. Yeah. Do you know Olivia? They point to- Or Portia?
No, they don't seem familiar to me at all. Then again, I don't really know a lot of the people around here. There's no of these groups. Not sure why they're so interested in Olivia, you said.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Yeah, she did a performance last night that could have gone better.
As soon as you say that, this woman in this turtleneck, this black turtleneck, and dark loose pants in sort of like those slip-on black shiny shoes, steps up behind Faith and just says, "It's time to go," and moves further away. Just doesn't acknowledge you at all. Faith sort of rolls her eyes. She introduced herself as Faith, by the way, and just rolls her eyes and says, "You'll have to excuse me. I have to go do something for a little bit. I'll come back and talk to you later."
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah.
She turns and makes her way loosely across, bumping some guy with his drink just all over the place and pointing at someone else like it was them, and then making her way over to Jenny, who's just finished feeding, and she lets the blood actually like fall down her face as she sort of sits there in front of everybody and just pushes this person off of her. And Faith like wipes it off of her face and actually like licks it off of her thumb, nods approvingly, and the two of them go off further
These
into the
people are
house.
weird, bro.
Irene, anything you would like to do?
So the people coming up to Olivia, are they the Helena people or the Menil people? Are they the big ideas people or the ripping their shirts off?
The
people?
ripping their shirts off people.
Ah, I see. Okay. Fair enough. That makes sense. Great. In that case, I think that I am going to stick very close to V for a bit. If I hear any evidence of things heating up outside, I'm going to go down and see what's going on. Otherwise, just hoping that this thing will run its course smoothly and not have anything bad happen. I don't want to make myself known because I'm not supposed to be here.
You are very aware of these groups, and tension is definitely rising between them as they've just one-upped the other group, and they are now like turned over like hyenas in the darkness. All their yellow eyes sort of observing these other groups as people start to flock away from them, and there's definitely animosity in the air between them.
Yeah, V will just ask the air around her, like, how bad is it?
Getting worse steadily.
You can hear Aicha being like, "It's really bad," and she's trying to like prop herself up and trying to. Reception's terrible.
Mm.
Never mind.
I don't know. This is something
Perfectly
that might help Aicha. Is you
Extinguish
could
Vitae.
Me
extinguish
leaving?
Vitae and
Yeah.
and be like, I'm gonna sober you up so that you can get drunk all over again. How exciting is that? Because there's so much people here. And having her out and about doing shit might distract these folks as well. Because the other thing is you could, if you prompt Aicha, you might be able to stoke what semblance of small rivalry is between her and I just forgot her name, the ministry,
Oh,
Thea.
Thea.
Thea. Because Thea's like, yeah, she's having fun. Maybe I should. So if you can spark the chaos in Thea, if you can get Aicha wanting to get drunk again, you might introduce a third party to this.
Do I really want to introduce more chaos to this
And
party?
outside, well, it's not even chaos, it's just two groups of opposing ideologies fighting each other right now. It's meant to be
getting
a party.
very close to fighting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to be
That's
able to
my
walk out
out
if
of
things
character
go bad.
recommendation is you can extinguish Vitae her to be like, you want a party?
If it gets out of hand, I fear that Resident Methuselahs are going to start throwing some shit around.
Mhm.
Resident
Mhm.
Methuselah.
Yeah.
That we know of.
Hopefully Manil's not here too.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
Be
I
very
don't
bad.
think they would have
That'd
been
be
able
very
to
bad.
hold each other, like to resist immediately fighting each other.
No, unless they don't know that the other is here.
Oh,
Because they're both
Oh my God.
hiding.
Two neonates.
Yeah, at a
Not knowing.
neonate party.
engaging in enormous
Hello,
battle.
fellow kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just say things are looking like they'll blow up any minute. Tensions are rising, trying to one up each other, anger.
It's Irish
Oh,
exit time.
Shit.
Nothing's
Bye.
happened yet, but I fear it will.
Great. Hey, Aicha.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to get slightly less spacey at the moment? You want to do some more partying?
Yeah, but that doesn't work. Does it? I have to like
Sober
jump
up?
in the
Yeah.
pool or something, maybe.
No. Watch. I'll do a magic trick.
I love magic tricks.
Throw stick, no take, only throw stick.
The magic trick is you're hungry now. No, and I will do extinguish Vitae on her.
She's gonna take a severe dice penalty to resisting this, but
I wonder why.
Sure.
she's
Let's
in
find where this roll is.
no condition.
Why
Oh.
is our beach episode literally the one where there's like two Methuselah cults like from the
You
very
think this
starting
is
to
our
fight each
beach
other?
I think I'm gonna
Yes,
let
it
you have a
is.
beach episode.
This is not
You'll
a
go to the
beach-
beach, and it'll be more of those like the drown.
You arrived at a party for
The drowned
15
ones,
minutes and conflict has arisen. This
Right.
is not the beach episode.
We don't have anything to do with the conflict though.
You don't. You don't have to get involved. Absolutely not. 3, you beat her. She gets 2.
Yeah,
She gets 1 point hungrier. She almost like you can see she like twists her head, her fangs come out a little bit, and she just blinks. Ooh, that's
Abracadabra.
weird.
you're slightly more sober.
I'm gonna be sick.
Yep, let's get you some food. Oh crap. Wait, these people have all like does anyone actually can I use Bloodhound to see if anyone is not intoxicated? If there's any
Ooh.
blood that doesn't have any
Let's
alcohol.
get you a glass of water. Oh, wait.
Let's-
This
Yeah,
is
I
a
was
kindred
like-
version of getting her a glass of water.
Oh my god!
Let's get. I believe insight comes under like that sort of thing. So we'll get wits insight.
Cool.
Bloodhound will make this
Checks out.
easier for you.
I am thriving.
Irene, anything you would like to do in the meantime?
I'm gonna go down and see if anyone has moved.
The only people that have moved is Faith, and the other groups are sort of just staying in eyesight of each other and making sure that they see each other with what they're doing.
Great. I would like to suss out where the electronics shit is that's causing all of the lights to happen. So I am ready to shut this party down if shit hits the
Yes.
fan.
Yeah.
Cut the music.
Yeah.
You saw it on the way in.
Yeah.
It's a power box, but it's like closer to the street, or the electronics run under the ground. So you'd have to
Makes
go
sense.
outside the building and go all the way down to the front.
I will definitely do that then.
Mm-hmm. As you make your way down, how many successes, V? 4. You can definitely find someone who isn't intoxicated. It's mostly kindred that are not intoxicated, but there are some people who have decided
We ain't doing
not
that.
to. There's maybe like 1 or 2 who are like, designated drivers and such who are deciding not to.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough. You're the DD and you get fed on.
Unless you want to really incur that Banu Hakim yee.
Yeah. We're at a
compulsion.
party. See ya.
At Helena's party, we ain't starting shit. Nope. Not happening.
Hey, Faith,
Uh,
do you want to start a scene?
Some of them don't
Oh yeah,
also
there's
wanna
3 of
start a
us.
scene.
Oh,
Do we
I thought
know
I
what-
had to worry with just 2 of us.
It's pretty easy to assume what Aicha's predator type is. It's like drug based, I assume.
She probably has the hopeless addiction floor or whatever,
Mm.
or the
Yeah.
high functioning
You can
addict
assume
merit.
Just be careful you don't like go against her predator type if she has
Well,
like
that stuff isn't like higher functioning addict doesn't go against a predator type.
no more like isn't there a drug
it's-
predator type
there's a
where
sl-
like
No,
There's not a-
there's
As far as I'm aware, there's
Oh,
slumber
it's a
might
there's
be the
flaw.
flaws
closest
and
one.
merits.
oh
towards
it.
okay got
It
it
makes you
got it.
more or less effective
Have
overall.
a feeding exclusion on sober people. You're taking humanity damage from a regular.
Oof.
Or the buzzkill.
Yeah. This is how we find out.
Aisha, this just drink this. I pass her off to a person. This feels horrible.
Not bad.
Hey, can we? I'll say it to whoever the closest non-drunk person is, the closest designated driver.
Oh,
Yeah, I
this
was
is
gonna
so
say
sad.
you're in a very difficult position
Yeah.
because you have a feeding floor against consenting people.
in this party full of non.
Yeah.
You went to Torpor.
And
Hey, I don't know about the other people. They
Yeah,
could
you
have
haven't-
I'm
you
not in
haven't
their conversation.
observed
This one,
that.
I'm in this conversation.
it's a lot of like, no thanks. I've got to drive. I need to keep myself, okay, unfortunately, but appreciate the offer and whatnot. So assume you're talking about like asking for a drink or something.
But just a little. You can always have one. There's always, just a little bit.
0.05, mate.
Out of character, fuck you. If I was a designated driver and you were like, you're allowed to have just one, I'd be like, who are
Oh,
you here with?
100%. I understand that this is shitty, but also
it's just
kindred.
be clear.
I'm gonna need a strong charisma persuasion check.
Oh, fun.
As
Does it count as a
the-
victim if it is not my victim? Because I've got a speciality in persuading victims.
Technically it's a victim for someone else, so I'll allow it. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm
well.
also going to rouse.
If they're going to be fed upon, that's basically what that specialty is. Victims is probably the wrong word for it, I suppose. I know.
Lucky
That's what it
candidate.
says
Lucky
with
candidate,
the
that's
predator
it.
type.
The specialty
prototype
is in
says victim.
embracing.
Embrace E. There you go.
Not embrace. Yeah. no.
Kiss.
it called?
Oh, kiss E.
Kiss.
The kissy.
Mm.
The kissy. Kissy
That's-
kissy.
Kiss
Absolutely
receiver.
revolting.
That's something.
5 successes. Yeah. They're like, I guess I can have like a small thing or something. Like maybe there's a low alcoholic or non-alcoholic beer or something.
Yeah, try this and shove Aicha
Oh my
at this
God.
person.
Screaming.
Yes, Aicha, through her own ways, feeds upon this person. Only takes a tiny little bit before letting them
Yeah.
go. She's sort of.
Oh, I make sure it's only on the.
Yeah, yep. She's not that hungry as well, and she like puts her fangs in. She bites. She drains them slightly, and then she just takes her fangs out, looks at you, goes to say something, and just throws up all of this stuff
Oh god.
in front, all over down that person's shirt, and
Oh.
just puts her head up against them. They are like out of it during the kiss, and are just taking it, and it's just this vile liquid that I'm not even going to describe. And
It's all those
Actually, look
videos of
the-
those
look
girls
at
who
that.
think they have vodka, they drink it, and they just spit all the water out.
Yeah.
Like, that's water, and hand it back.
It is that.
They just like have this glass of water, and she just went.
to be clear, she's not, throwing up any blood. It's all just the stuff that she's
Oh.
ingested earlier, because
Oh, of
Kindred can't keep
course.
down liquids, and
She's
things-
probably not rolling well to keep it down.
exactly. You need certain humanity and certain merits and stuff to be able to even hold this stuff down for an extended period of time. And she does not contain any of those. So food,
she's
whatever,
so
comes
bubbly.
up. And
But it's not blood on this
she just-
person's shirt.
as soon as she does that, she springs back up. She slaps her cheeks and goes, "Oh, that's a lot better now."
Okay, lick the thing.
Ooh.
Lick the wound.
Yes. She licks the wound.
Before it gets
Cool.
infected.
You good?
Yes, I'm good. She's like
Say you're gonna be
a
okay.
bit out of
Maybe
it
take a
still, but yeah, I think I'm gonna sit down for a bit. And she just like goes up to the kitchen counter, like in the middle of the room, and just lies across it, and just almost instantly like closes her eyes and just falls asleep there.
Okay.
She is so funny.
Take it easy. Oh goodness. And then I think V's gonna try and feed off someone who is drunk but not has just started drinking, if that's possible.
Yeah, make a
Can I-
simple hunting roll. And
Okay.
after some
Like that is
time,
charisma persuasion.
as you're doing all this, Irene, I imagine you're making your way down towards the front to mess up whatever
Not
systems you're doing.
yet.
Okay, you're just
if
keeping
I
that.
hear anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You are the first to see the three figures. That woman I described earlier with the black turtleneck, the Jenny, the Asian woman with the glasses with the business suit, and Faith, all come down from the stairs one after the other. And the woman in the turtleneck just stands by the front door and just watches as Faith and Jenny make their way back into the party. And Faith is just like rubbing side of her mouth and licks up the last of this blood that was on her on the side of her mouth, and she seems like renewed, full of energy. Jenny looks about the same, observing and looking at things around and checking what's going on. She makes her way outside and starts making discussion with the group outside, whereas Faith sort of finds V and makes her way back over. Is there anything you would like to do?
No. I want to see what happens. If this escalates, then I will shut it down.
Mhm.
But if it doesn't, I'm just gonna chill and make sure V is okay.
Mm.
And just
It doesn't seem like anything's going to happen unless anyone does anything, which at the moment doesn't seem like that's happened. After a point, V, you find someone, they willingly, I imagine you shape this in a certain way that makes it appropriate, and they give you their blood.
We're going drug dealer V. I got 3 successes. It was a messy, but I changed it. I used willpower to not have a messy group.
A great choice. So 3, how much hunger are you on?
Sure.
2, yeah, you can have 1. 1 point
Yay.
to put yourself in the safety zone.
And my hunger compulsion is gone.
You've had some food. Both of you have. Your hunger compulsions are gone.
Mhm. Feeling swell.
Faith sort of like, I imagine you'd go to like the bathroom and then come back out, and Faith is already sort of like standing there and like looks in.
Hey, you
Interest-
good?
Interesting. Yeah, no, I'm great. I'm fantastic. How are you?
I feeling okay. A little buzzed. Haven't felt like this in a while.
I know, right? Neither have I. This, you can truly like do whatever you want in these things. It's fantastic. Don't know why, some of these people involve themselves in all that uppity business with everything going on.
Yeah, the uppity business.
Oh well. What do you usually do for fun, V?
Not this, but I haven't done something like this. Guess I just explore things.
Okay. I'll race
Used
you
to
to the
break-
roof.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. As soon as she just like picks up this like nearby family portrait and just holds it up, as soon as this hits the ground,
That feels cool.
she's already dropped it. And would you like to activate any of your abilities?
What? How? Where are we
You're on the second
in
floor.
relation to the roof?
You're on the
Okay,
second floor at this point.
I'd
That's
have
where.
to climb out a window to get to the roof. Probably.
Yes,
then.
indeed.
Uh,
Would you?
I'll
You
just
can.
activate fleetness.
Yeah,
I'll
make
have-
a rouse check.
I won't do blink or
Why
anything.
not?
Fleetness. Yay, and we succeed. See, I'm gonna try and run to the roof.
I love the
Mhm.
friendly competition of when this leaves the ground, you're like, that's someone's okay.
Like that's
We can
that's
always
actually a
just
really nice
wave.
photo.
Yeah. Probably means a lot to someone. So
How about you put it back and we use something else?
a spoon.
It's
or
already hit the
something.
floor.
And then she's on the roof already. She's like, huh?
I'll get a dexterity athletics to
This
maneuver
really
your
is the
way
beach episode, isn't it?
through all of this.
A little, just a little. Like yes, there's politics up.
Stop trying to make the beach
But,
episode
know.
happen.
I am so desperate.
And I add my celerity because of fleetness. That's a lot of dice.
You'll know it's a beach episode when you don't need to be in a tenebrous avatar to not be seen, you know? You know?
Stop
You should
putting
have
the truth in
finger
front
on
of
the
me
red
like
button.
this.
You-
7, but I could get a lot more.
7. So the difference between you two, I imagine you're probably already on the roof, using fleetness.
Yeah,
Right?
just
Yeah.
fleetness.
You just run and sort of like flick the window, grab it, and swing yourself in such an angle it actually flips you up using your upper body strength to flip you up onto the roof straight away. You're there in like seconds. It's probably like 5 seconds. And after like a few moments, maybe like 30 seconds or so, Faith just like taps you on the back of the shoulder and like with wide eyes, as you're sort of standing up above everybody in the pool and such. Some people notice you and they'll go, "Yeah!" as you're like on the roof, and Faith like sort of rolls her eyes and says, "Wow, you are fast."
Yeah, you took your sweet time coming here.
Not as fast as you, clearly.
I took the window. Perhaps that's cheating.
Smart. I went around the front and took one of the ladders.
Ladders. See, like I
Window,
was trying to
clever.
say, I used to break into a whole bunch of buildings before all of this, so I have the advantage.
Is that right? Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
What sort of buildings did you break into?
Abandoned places. I had a as a Mm, the more
Places where nobody's home.
Yeah. Actually, I did that as a kindred as well, so I can't really claim it on ignorance.
We're
Yeah.
still doing it.
Yeah, I do that constantly.
Hmm. That's interesting. I've never. My specialty doesn't lie in those sorts of things, so I'm kind of impressed.
Yeah, it's not always a good idea. It's how I am the way that I am. I broke into a prison. Long story, but
Oh, we got plenty of time. She actually sits down like on the edge of the roof. Some people are shouting, "Jump, jump," and she's just not listening to them at all.
go back to your foosball. I don't know. She shouts. What's the one with the cup? What's that one called? She turns to Faith down. What's the ping pong? Not ping pong, but like beer pong?
I'm
Is that what it's called?
afraid I wouldn't know.
God, it's been a while since I've been one of these. I don't. Yeah, whatever. I guess I'll sit down, feet dangling over the edge of the
Hmm. Irene, is there anything you're doing at this moment, or simply still observing and making sure nothing happens?
Yeah, that's why she's here.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she'll keep doing.
One of the people from the pool comes in, like slides the door open, steps inside, and starts to like look around like they're looking for someone. And they start stepping through. They sort of bump shoulders with one of the others, but the two of them sort of just hiss at each other for a moment before they keep moving, and look around into each of the rooms, giving a scan. So they're looking for someone that they can't find, and they start making their way upstairs.
I'll follow them.
Okay. As they make their way upstairs, they start looking in each of the rooms, occasionally seeing people, and then make their way into this like it looks like the master bedroom, and basically open up through the door. You hide in their shadow and follow them all the way through. And as they open up to the master bedroom, there is just this blanket of ash across the bed, and they sort of like raise their eyebrows and step inside and look around, sort of smelling the air. On edge.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to do in response, or are you simply going to continue observing?
Continue observing for now, but ready to act if something happens.
Mm-hmm. There's 2 seconds.
No worries. Mysterious dice rollage.
Yes. They are going to turn.
There are 3,600 kindred in this room that turn towards you.
No, they turn, and you from the shadow and from the light angle, you can see the anger that crosses their face. Their fangs are out, and they start storming their way downstairs. And when they reach the center of the room, there's the guy shirtless dancing on the top of the bar. This man just grabs him by the arms and just throws him off of the bench, scattering bottles and things all across. This party just stops. People just gasp and like watch what's happening. And straight away this man just pushes up to him. His fangs are out, and he just starts punching him over and over and over, right, then left, then right, then left. And V, you can sort of hear some kerfuffle downstairs. Yep. Faith is not paying any attention to it whatsoever. Her feet are dangling across. She's looking at the pool, looking up at the sky, and then you can... Yeah, she's just looking up and down. You can hear that something's happened downstairs.
Yeah, V's going to be very much like, hey, here, she'll grab out, she probably has at least some paper on her, maybe a business card or something and a pen, and writes down, here's my number. I'm going to check, just in case things go weird, I'm going to check on what's going downstairs. Because,
okay. Wow,
yeah.
Okay, sure. She takes the paper and just almost like it doesn't phase her whatsoever what's happening downstairs. Like she couldn't care less. I imagine you just jump off of the roof. You have fleetness active. You automatically succeed when you do these sorts
Also
of
got
things.
Cat's Grace, so I land on my feet. Haha.
Perfect. Cat's Grace, even better. You land on your feet elegantly. And you can see that there's this man in a black shirt with sort of that denim colored overshirt and in jeans who's just standing on this shirtless man. And his fists are getting bloodied as he's just continuously hitting this man over and over and over.
This is
gonna
becoming a big
drink.
masquerade breach with these dudes
Yeah.
with their fangs out.
Oh, yeah.
Punching each other.
Yes, indeed. No,
Hey.
it is a huge masquerade breach.
Yeah.
Come as close to them as possible. Like, hey, buddy, what's going on? Hey.
His
Break up.
eyes are not on you. He is just furious. You can see the veins popping in his face as he is just punching over and over and over until the man underneath him just like he goes for the punch and the punch actually misses as quickly his head ducks out of the way and he shoves the man up off of him, reeling back, knocking some people over behind him, and the shirtless man stands up, face bloodied. There's a moment of silence between everybody.
Everything okay?
And then the two of them just jump at each other at the same time.
Oh, fuck.
And
I'm
just
gonna try and get in between them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get
I'm
a
actually
Gotta
gonna do
activate
the same.
Protest as well.
Yeah.
I'll get a
And we good.
strength and
That's why I activated protest.
roll, please.
Lovely. What's my roll?
I'll
Not so
get
good.
out of the shadow and sort of like duck my way in between people and also try and get in between them, meet up with V,
Mhm.
literally in the middle.
It takes you a moment to unveil, so you have to just watch for a moment as you sort of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sink up out of the shadows and form your body. So you have to wait a brief moment. 4 successes between the two of them. Can you make that roll again, but with a -1?
Okay. I will rouse for that.
To be clear, this is 2 separate targets. You're needing to protect
Ah,
both of them,
yes.
and it's difficult to focus on both.
Mhm.
God, Irene, you should come up like out of V's shadow.
I
Instead of
am
pushing
not
through
breaching the
cloud.
masquerade like these fucking idiots.
Oh, right. True.
What was your first roll?
4.
Fantastic.
They're
You
4,
tie
sorry.
both of them. So as they are leaping forward with your fleetness, you simply get in between the two of them, just shove them back from each other. The two of them are clearly overcome by some sort of compulsion, just looking at each other, snarling, growling. And some of the people in the back are just sort of like horrified at what they see, at the blood, at the, strange supernatural abilities that you all seem to possess. And what would you like to do in this current predicament?
And a priest.
Oh, it's a me.
Pray to God. Pray to God. Pray to God.
Yeah, when
Uh,
she gets out of the shadow, she'll come forward, darting between people, keeping her head down. Just be like to V, this is bad. You need to let Damien know that the masquerades.
Okay. Cool. At the moment, I'm just trying to make sure. Just stay back to the people. Just chill, for God's sakes, chill.
They sort of
grab both.
okay. They push at you. They trying to get at each other. Irene, at this
Whoa.
point, this is when you sort of arrive at your physical form once again and make your way forward. What would you like to do?
I think the guy who was punching the other guy, she'll grab him first because she's going to assume that he's stronger.
Mhm.
He has got the potent stuff going on. She'll grab him first and bring him, like, forcibly sort of pull him away from the other guy, focusing her efforts on him mostly, whilst, if she can, look at the other one being like, don't you dare.
Okay. I'll get a strength brawl to start with.
Mhm.
V, what are you doing at the same time?
Actually, I'm looking around to see who's paying the most attention to this.
Wits and
Mhm.
insight, please.
Irene really pulling the like, Jared, look at me. This isn't you. Please.
No.
With 4 successes, it is Olivia. She has this
Oh.
petrified look on her face and is just looking absolutely mortified that this party that she's put together and this is happening, that it's going to fall on her head, and this is the last thing that she wants right now. And so she
Yeah.
is sweating almost blood at this point and just more pale than she usually is. Portia's sort of next to her, but she's looking off in the distance, almost like nothing around her matters at this point. She's more interested in some reflection that she's obsessed with over somewhere else.
Mm.
Irene, how many successes?
11.
11. This is a neonate party.
Yeah.
2 successes is not going to beat you. And I imagine you just hoist them off their feet and hold them by the throat if you wanted to.
Yeah, you
trying
could
to
do that, but
maintain
I'm trying to be
masquerade.
somewhat subtle because I don't want to. Well, the masquerade is already breached, I think, so
Yeah.
she'd actually probably just do that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, it's already happened at this stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can simply just dig your fingers into their shoulder and keep them still.
Yeah, I think that's probably more like what she would do.
Yeah.
Grab like
Silent
behind the
threat.
back of their neck and like just hold them.
Almost
there
like a
that
puppy,
way.
yeah. Like they
Yeah.
are puppies around you. You are the mother dog, and you just hold them in this particular position while looking at the other one. The other one will think better of it and just sort of back down as soon as you sort of just appear and hold them still. They sort of just the shirtless one sort of just backs off slightly, and like someone hands them a cloth and they start dabbing their face, and yeah, so that's what you see. V is that person stopped. They've backed off, starting to heal their wounds, and Livia's just like holding this glass that is like shaking in her hands that aren't stopping shaking as well. Anything
Yeah, I
either of
think
you
I'll
would like
go-
to? Go ahead.
I'll go over to Olivia. Be like, hey, if their fight is sorted and it's not going to escalate any further at the moment, I will go to Olivia.
Yeah, she has just the widest eyes you've ever seen. This perfect, just fear, innocence, and fear within her in this moment. That this is not her fault, and she is terrified that it is going to somehow become her fault. And she just turns to you and she says, "V, you can't tell anybody. We have to make sure that nobody finds out. I can't have this." Oh my god,
Yeah,
it's Irene. I'm so screwed.
Hey, it's all okay. This isn't on you. That, the fights like this sometimes happen, but just breathe. Well, don't.
You do,
Just chill.
They're gonna make it all about me. I can tell. They're going to do it. They're going to twist it in some way. It's gonna be. I
No, I'll
can't
try-
handle this.
No. Okay, it's okay. Can I hold your shoulder?
What?
Mine. Never mind. I don't. Hey. We control the story, and so far, you haven't gotten into any fights. is this your place or whose place is this?
I think it's his, and she points to some random guy across the room. I used them to organize this stupid thing. I'm so stupid. And she just starts crying. Blood starts pooling from her eyes as she's just overwhelmed from everything that's happening. Head in hands. Portia's next
Uh,
to her, just off somewhere else.
does a quick glance at Portia, like seriously, and then back to like, hey, no, it's okay, it's okay. Look, why did you decide to do this party? You must have had a good reason. We can spin this.
She just stops crying for a second just to say it was meant to celebrate my really good performance. And she just cries even harder.
Oh,
Just blood gushing out of her eyes as she keeps, and she actually is going to run off. She's going to run off and go upstairs, and you hear the slam of a door as she does so. Irene, what are you doing in the meantime?
I'm going to the front door to make sure nobody leaves.
Yeah, by the front door is that woman with the black turtleneck, and she's just leaning up against the wall, just watching what's going on, blank faced, not impressed by any of this that's happening, really.
V, you should call the sheriff.
yeah. The second Olivia runs off, she's like, okay. Is the music still on?
Music's still on.
Okay, then I'll just text him for now. Just shit hit the fan, and then the address, and Irene's keeping guard.
Simple, be there soon, full stop. Again, it seems like Damien's busy with something. You do get a quick response. In the meantime, Irene, I imagine you just stand there holding this person by the front door.
Mm-hmm. Making sure nobody tries to leave through the back or anything like that. Yeah.
V, I imagine you're just keeping an eye on everything in the main area.
Oh yeah, I keeping an eye on everyone in the main area, but specifically the kindred that she knows. Like seeing where Thea is, especially.
Mhm.
Check on, like, she'll be doing like a lap to find where everyone is, to make sure they don't leave, and to make sure that they're not fucking around.
It seems like, well, Thea comes like out of another room. Seems like she's been having some food herself and sort of wipes her mouth and just what did I miss?
Just stay put.
I always miss all the fun. She goes around, starts talking to some people. And as you sort of make your way looping around this, it seems like most people are there or somewhere nearby. But as you loop back around to the living room, Faith sort of jumps down, takes her way through the door. The glass door slides it to the side, steps through, simply says, "Well, it was nice meeting you, V, and I'm sure I'll call you at some point. It was, yeah, nice to see more of my kind around here."
Yeah, always good. It's always a delight. But yeah, we're just keeping it, making sure there's no breach.
Okay.
Just sit tight.
Oh no, I'll be leaving. I'll be seeing you soon.
Yeah, just don't. Just don't take your group and go, because your group might. Look, do whatever. Oh,
I'll be seeing you. And she actually just vanishes before your eyes.
cool. Yeah,
And when
then
you-
check on
Yeah, when you,
Rowan and Hurricane. Just make sure.
Hurricane's by the pool, just lying down. His glasses are over his eyes, and he seems like he's off somewhere else. Doesn't care what's happening inside, just relaxing and listening to the water. Bit of peace and quiet
Cool.
is actually fine for him.
Yeah, I'll leave him to it.
Mm. And when you come back to the party, Faith, Jenny, and this other woman with this black turtleneck are just gone. They've just vanished. After some time, Damien pulls up. He brings Alexa with him, and the two step inside just behind you, Irene, and just Damien just looks around at everything. Alexa barely looks at anything at all. Damien just says, What happened here?"
Complete mess. She gestures to this one just started fighting in our way with another complete breach. There's multiple young ones here just flaunting themselves in front of everybody. So that's what's happened.
Alexa, you know what to do. She just nods, starts making her way around, and starts taking people into separate rooms and telling them exactly what they need to hear, making sure it's all clean. Damien takes hold of the other one, his grip just as strong as yours. Says, "Right, we'll be taking a bit of a drive, I think. This is under control now, Irene. Please go back to your night off."
Thanks, Damien.
He
Night off
takes
indeed.
the man outside. Yeah, the party sort of after some time, and the party re-engages, and all these humans start saying like, "Oh my god, someone just spilled glass everywhere. So someone got a mop or like a broom?" They start cleaning up everything. Started asking who spilled stuff everywhere and whatnot, and the party resumes after some
Oh,
time.
thank God they were intoxicated. My God.
Mhm.
Makes it easier.
Yeah. Gonna check in on Aicha. Also, make sure Irene's okay. I'm gonna check on Aicha.
Yeah,
You good?
completely fine. This guy.
Aicha's like sitting on the floor, her head's up against one of the cupboard things underneath the bench, and she's sort of just occasionally groaning up towards the ceiling. And as soon as you
Hey.
check on her, she just gives you a just thumbs up and just, "Oh,
You good?
I'm fine. Just have to look up."
Okay. You don't want to be moved to a more comfy location?
Oh, the world's still spinning.
Right. Oh, I'll leave you to it.
And yeah, you leave her to it. Irene, anything you would like to do?
Just when V comes back down, I'll meet up with her and say there's I followed that man into the master bedroom, and there was ash all over the bed.
Oh. Shit.
And
we-
that's what provoked him to go downstairs and start whatever that was.
Oh shit, there was like a whole fucking murder. Should we go upstairs to check that out?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
let's
As
go
you
upstairs.
you make your way up into the master bedroom, it's this very elegant looking area with very white sheets. They've got these sort of lovely symbols on them. There's like a separate bathroom here. There's a TV in this room as well. There's also sort of a nightstand with a mirror and everything, and some separate chest of drawers with all these adult clothing in them for like business and such. And on the bed is just this pile of like ash loosely. Some of it's on the floor and some of it's up across the bed. And also there's these scorch marks on the sides of the bed. They haven't licked up and ignited the bed themselves, but they've just like burnt the sides.
Scorched.
The right and the
Shit.
left side.
No one's touched this, right?
No, I didn't tell Damien or Alexa about it.
Okay, cool. They would like to activate heightened senses eyesight and just see if there's any like clue to if there was another person here, or you know,
Wits
the scorch marks mean
investigation.
anything.
And you can
Cool.
add your auspex to this. Irene, anything you'd like to check out here?
Um,
I mean, anyone like to text Joseph about
yeah.
this?
All right,
I want
Mr. Lick the carpet.
Joseph might as well come down.
The party's over. The kindred version of this party is over.
It is.
The fighting part is over at least.
Mhm.
I want to
That was
bring
a
Joseph
shit
here.
roll.
People are still having a good time.
You find the nearest raven. Send a message to he of theology and sociology. Send him to my location.
I'll send Joseph
Bring
a
him
text.
here.
Bring
Yeah.
him hither to me.
What is
I
the
need to get that bird ritual for you.
What does the text say?
It would be the location and no, I was gonna say there's some carpet for you to lick, but no. No, it would be a
This
location
is not
and,
how
like,
to initiate dating talk with me.
Why would we?
Yeah, it took me a
It
second.
would be.
Thanks, guys. That's been Chicago by Night.
Thank you very
I'll
much.
see you next week.
It's over now.
That's the peak. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah. Where's the
God.
bot to be like
Carpet licking
sometimes
really
the
just is
content
the
will be
peak.
18 plus.
Oh
Would
dear.
be the location. Plus the party is a kind of over, but there's some evidence and then just send.
Right. Yeah. You got me to roll like intelligence and persuasion.
Yes.
I did a fun little roll off with her to see who
Ooh.
would get the higher intelligence. She's smarter than Joseph in this discussion.
Wow.
But he's more charismatic than her.
That makes sense.
So she probably tells him some stuff that he was actually truly struggling with in his class, and he was like, oh my god, thank you so much. They would have got like coffee, and I think using anthropology as a small facade, he would have been like, there is a culture that you have to be particularly attuned to that you could learn about. Would you be interested in like talking about it over a few hours? And then the first time she shows interest, he would probably slip some of his blood into her like coffee cup that they just had, because I need to give her blood twice for this to work because my vein severity is 2.
Yeah.
So I think after that it would be like, how do you feel? More talking. And then when I get this text being like, speaking of special different society, let me give you another drink. Thank you so much. He'll fill her cup with the second bit of blood and just be like, here's my number. Thank you so much. We have to study again because I'm struggling. And then he'd peace out.
Doesn't take too long to reach there as well.
Yeah.
Considering you're going from the university to there. And it's a Sunday night, there's not many people around this time. So you probably once
Hi, Damien. Walk straight
pass by. Yeah, it's after Damien leaves, approximately, and you arrive. You see this area and the party that's going on. Irene, I imagine is the first one you see.
Probably just blush of life it up, find the nearest party goer or something, and just be like, is there one of my friends is here. She's like wearing cool, like dark dress. She has this real goth vibe.
Religious goth vibe.
Yeah, real cool vibe.
One of them just left. The other one's upstairs.
Oh, thank you so much. And then we'll go upstairs.
You can see the others investigating as V is getting closer and observing things very closely. Sorry, Irene, I asked you if there was something you wanted to investigate. What would you like to investigate here?
I don't know if she has anything that she can sort of look. I'm thinking of more of like an occulty kind of.
Yeah, there's
thought.
definitely
Yeah.
something here you can check with intelligence.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't know what that would be, what she would be looking for. It's mostly just a
How
scan to see
about
if there's any.
Is
if
this
I
ritualistic
arrive, do we
in
want
any
to
way, shape, or
swap?
form?
And you'd be like, is there something occulty? I do the check and you give me a dot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
As if I know anything
Yeah.
about you and V as well. Intelligence is not.
How many
Not
successes,
that
V?
How dare you? 6 normal crit.
6 with a normal critical. With a critical success investigating this scene, you can see that there's faint smudges of blood actually on the bed sheets and such, on the higher end where the pillows are, like almost like there was a spray of some kind. And where the people have where those scorch marks are is like in the shape of hands, like they have grabbed that area, and everywhere around where they've grabbed has burned basically.
Does this involve blood magic for my occult roll?
It does not.
Cool.
Maybe it does. As far as
Who
I'm
knows?
concerned, it does not, but I might be wrong. Two seconds.
But yeah, add extra dice.
They
Very helpful, thank you.
Yes, they are actually. Does involve blood sorcery.
Don't. That is 6 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Between the two of you, you gesture, you point to these things like, hey, there was a
Yeah.
blood splatter
Yeah.
here.
That's odd.
But this is you, V, with all your expertise, this is diablerie that happened here, where the spray is and where they bit
Ooh.
into someone until they turned to ash. A diablerie happened here. And Joseph, you see the scorch marks.
Mhm.
You've seen Sunshi burn her hands before, and this looks like what happened. This flame has sort of erupted from their hands while they were committing diablerie. And it's created this, like, and Irene, you see it's almost like a holy cross in the way that their body has like faded to ash in that particular
Mhm.
way. It's like they were held down by their hands and then diablerized through this process.
My personal experience with Sunchi over the years, has this happened that I would just know about and have probably deliberately not spoken about?
Sunchi has never committed diablerie.
Interesting.
You have seen her aura. She's never committed diablerie before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you saw it once.
True.
It's more, you've seen the creature inside of her come out. She's more likely to just burn them or like do something terrible to them with her thaumaturgy rather than this.
Panic, because he's like, if she's the next one on Helena's feast list. He's not saying this out loud. Sorry. This
Okay.
is this.
Yeah.
Good. I was
If
like, what should you
Sunchi
say?
is on Helena's next to eat list, he's freaking out. So he's like,
That's terrible.
he pulls his phone out and will text Sunchi and just be like, "Where are you? Are you okay?"
Oh, she was here.
V, you can say she's downstairs.
Yeah.
Because you get that
Sunchi-
response. Yeah, you get that. I'm at the party. Where are you?
At the party.
Oh, I don't see you. Little
Upstairs.
smiley face.
Yeah,
And then-
upstairs, like, I don't know, a star remote or something.
Yeah. After a few
Let's
moments.
maybe go downstairs and not, just in case.
You
she
don't have to be here,
doesn't-
but I
There's
do.
It's just,
There's
It
a
might be
like-
her, maybe. Is my thought.
well, that did that, not whoever. Oh, do you know any way we can tell who did this? I mean, who that is on the. Anyone missing?
my
that
taste
we
for
know?
blood works on blood, not ash. Right?
Mm.
Yeah.
When it reaches this point, there's not much I can do outside of developing my own specs more. me experience either.
You've got too much.
Give me more. I can experience
Mr.
such
All-Powerful
right now.
Primogen here.
Yeah. After a few moments, there's a light knock on the door, and says, "Is this Joseph?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't want
one
to. Oh, okay.
One sec.
Yep. I'll be
Um,
here.
He'll just do like a 1 sec, and he'll go outside into the hallway. Hi, Sunshi. Hi. He'll give her
She
a
gives
hug.
you.
It's really good
She
to
gives
see
you a big
you.
smile. She's sort of
Mm.
like, the excited way that people stamp their feet lots before they like.
Yeah.
She does
Yeah.
that. She gives you a big hug and says, "How are you? I didn't
I'm
expect to see
really-
you here, but I'm glad you are here now."
I am feeling a little better. I hope you are too. He's going to like hold her hands and look at her hands, her
Yeah.
fingernails. Is there ash under her fingernails? He's like, oh, skin's so soft. What moisturizer do you use? Oh my god.
Intelligence investigation, please.
Okay, let's go.
She starts explaining.
Scry a soul.
I've been
Scry a soul.
drinking the blood of particular people, and it actually really helps the complexion and such.
Oh, why didn't I think of that? 3 successes.
3. She has some of the cleanest hands you've ever seen, apart from Vasco.
Yeah. It's probably where she learned it from. I
He
will
does,
from
yeah,
her
indeed.
soul.
Absolutely.
Get hungrier. I think he knows that he's lying to her because he still hasn't told her that Eric Tho's alive, and I think that guilt hits him as he's now scrying her soul.
Just behaving like a trummy.
Shut up! I'm just trying to protect my mom. Intelligence, 4 specs.
Love how Irene and V are just vibing in a room with Ash now.
In my element, truly.
Yeah. These like come here often, and Irene's like, "Don't ask me that. That's very rude."
Actually, Irene, could you, I don't know, peek out and give me a messy critical?
Eek.
Because I've no 10s in here, and a secret from her might help.
You don't need a critical to learn if she's committed
No.
diablerie.
Yeah, it's a,
True. We just need that confirmation.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
need that.
alright.
You don't need that.
It's just a
I got
question.
5 successes.
She only got 2.
Cool. Has she committed diablerie?
She has not. She has not committed diablerie.
Ooh.
Bless.
What is her emotional
goodness.
state? Because he does actually want to know, because Eric though still only died a couple of days ago, and this party is good. And with her demon and shit, he really does actually want to know how she's going.
Nervous and a mix of like anger that's not hers at the same time. Whatever's
Yeah.
happened previously that's shaken this up, that Irene's made herself visible, has like shaken her a little bit too.
Got it. And I get one more question, I think.
Yep.
Emotional state, diablerie.
The other one's like
Blood
residence,
sorcery?
whether they're a vampire. Oh yeah, and if they're
and
under
blood
the
sorcery.
Blood sorcery.
She might be, but I'll check.
she
Actually, is it possible to identify if she's under the same kind of blood sorcery as the prince?
Without seeing the
Richard's-
actual blood sorcery itself, it's impossible to tell. You need to be able to
Got
see the ritual and the symbols and such to figure out what
Cool.
it is.
So I'll just do the general check then.
Yeah, she is not under the effects of blood sorcery.
Cool.
Good.
We need to
Really
change
like
that. Let's get some warts on you, girl. Cool. He'll be like, oh my god, okay. I need to. What kind of people? He's like just been talking about how to get softer skin himself. And I think he's just gonna give her a hug and be like, hey, I was just really worried. I called you up because there are some fiery hand marks I found in that room. You're the only person who's like cool enough to do that stuff.
Oh, I can't do that, Joseph. I've never been shown how to do anything like that. I've seen other people do it before, but I've never.
Do you know anyone that can?
Not in this city. I haven't
No, yeah.
seen any of the other Tremere or anybody be able to do that. I know it's a very old thaumaturgy.
Yeah.
But I don't know anyone who can do it.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. Actually,
Mm.
is the soul of this thing that lives inside of her and her soul separate?
They are. It's like she is possessed by something.
He's not
If
aware of it.
diablerie occurred, would the soul of the diablerie thing go to the demon and not her?
You would see traces of it.
Got
Still.
it. Perfect.
You would still see
And
because they're
demons
sort of
don't
like
commit diablerie.
demons
Okay,
don't commit
okay.
Yeah.
diablerie. Yeah, indeed.
Got it. Thought so. All right. Cool. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. He'll be like, okay, yeah, you're like the only other house kind of person left, so you're the only one I can really go to about this stuff.
And I'm here for you if you need anything.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, I'll let you get back to the party. I'll
Yes, I'm
go
going
to do all
to.
these big primogen things.
I'll leave you to it. I don't want any of that business. I don't
No,
want
no,
any-
no. That you look so lovely. Have a really good time.
Thank you. She just waves you off and goes back downstairs to try and forget about everything that's been happening lately.
Yeah.
And you three are in the room
Yeah,
together.
he comes
again.
back into the room, smiling. He's like,
So-
"It wasn't her."
Oh, thank
not-
God. Okay.
She doesn't even know anyone who could make fire with their hand. I don't even know who.
Is there anything like other
You
than
don't know who.
Irene,
Mm.
I'll get you to make a separate intelligence occult check though.
Very well.
Mm.
I shall.
know any flame handers? Like,
It's such old magic. That's the thing.
is there any?
I'm an
well,
old
I guess no.
gal.
Yeah, you are.
With your history, it's a
To keep
relevant
little
check.
old V up, like people don't do this.
Well, yeah, it seems like kind of like you wouldn't create fire, considering we're not really
Yeah,
friendly with fire.
it does fit. Like Cain people like fire.
Around.
Cane people. Okay, yeah. Oh, and
And
the
the-
Sabat don't always
Well,
just like
The Camarilla and the Sabbat both have a different kind of belief in Cain.
5 successes. You have seen. I would say Irene has probably seen this before. In the way that a lot of kindred of the Sabbat, as well as similar beliefs, have the ability to ignite themselves to prove their
Yeah.
devotion to Cain, and prove that they have no fear of this as well. It's not unlike what you've seen. You probably have seen someone accidentally, through the just devotion and feeding of through this whole thing, just burst into flames in this like almost passionate display of their proof. And once you sort of start to piece these things together from what everyone's saying, it makes a lot of sense that that sort of thaumaturgy comes from the diablerie, the fire, sort of all comes together, and you go, right, someone was proving their devotion to Cain through a diablerie, and in that process, they lit themselves up on fire, basically, whether that be through thaumaturgical or non-thaumaturgical
And are
reasons.
consumed by it, or just temporarily are on.
This
Or
was
somebody was
definitely
committing diablerie and then caught themselves on fire.
yes, in the way that this looks like someone was holding them down and their hands burst on fire while they were diablerizing this kindred as a passion in the moment.
Yes, this is a Church of Cain
Called it
origin.
Pictures Ahoy
can-
V.
Oh yeah, shit. Grabs out camera, takes photos.
Turns it on. Well, I haven't been using this all night.
Yeah, not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially kindred who learn those particular blood sorcery rituals where they purposefully test their bravery against fire and such.
Who the
Up
fuck would light
close.
themselves on fire on purpose?
Cain
Well,
has some
people-
beliefs about it. It's
Yeah.
the Camarilla does not so much as it goes against destruction and the like.
But they're
Well,
not
the
usually a
Camarilla
fan of
don't. Yeah.
diablerie either.
Mhm,
No.
Exactly.
Oh my god, how many traditions were broken to Jesus? Okay.
So
No,
many. All of them, I think.
The question,
Olivia's
V,
freaking
is how
out.
many were you near or involved enough with?
As far as I know, I wasn't involved enough with any of them, but
That's
we'll
important.
find out. Shit. So
Irene,
poor
is there any
Olivia,
evidence
she's-
against V right now?
No. No.
Excellent. It's nice having a hound as a friend.
Yeah.
Everything is already taken care of, I think.
What should I be telling? Well, mind you, you'll be reporting to Damien.
Yep, that's her job.
What quote would you like me to give you to give him?
What do you mean?
I don't know how comfortable you are talking about this.
I'm
And
fine. I understand well enough what it is, better than pretty much anyone else in
Well.
the Camarilla. So
very true.
there's no need to sugarcoat it. And
Do you know
make it
how
into something it's not.
strong you need to be to do something like this? Is this neonate level?
It can be, especially if
It's just devotion.
yes.
God, there were a bunch of independents here.
Mm.
Lovely.
There was a lady named Mercy downstairs, Red.
Do I know
Flat,
Mercy?
No, you don't actually know
as a
Mercy.
social worker.
Yeah, shit.
She's also a social worker, Joseph.
Oh, I'll have to try and find her then.
Then there's a
There were
group
also-
that split.
A
Uh,
group of Kindred who worship Menil,
Menil.
Bruja Methuselah,
They believe
A-
in humanity a lot.
and wisdom and stuff. They
Hmm.
have opposed H for a very,
The
very
big
long
H.
time. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why I think that there was some rifts going on down there before.
That is
sh-
why the party is over? Or did this trigger
Well,
why the
it's
party is over?
The sequence of events was one of the Manilians was looking for someone, went
Mhm.
upstairs to search for them, came into this room, saw this scene, went downstairs and started fighting. One of the kindred, I suppose, were part of Helena's brood.
Mm.
And that's when
Okay, so-
everything escalated and the masquerade was forgotten and all of that.
Right.
Do you think this person was a buddy of the Menilian dude?
I assume so.
Great. Well,
This
God, how many
they were
wars have we
probably
got fucking happening?
they were
Mm.
probably gotten rid of by
One of
one
the
of
other.
Helena's. Indeed. That's my assumption, but obviously it's guesswork because we don't know what happened exactly.
Yes, unfortunately. Another loose end that will definitely come to claim a portion of Chicago, I imagine.
City of loose ends and
Yes.
half-baked conspiracies, indeed.
It's why it's the jewel of the Camarilla. There's so many faces to it.
They love that kind of thing, it's true.
Hmm. Well, we have all the details that I can possibly grasp from this, and
Yeah. I think we can't. There's nothing more to see here. This is
was the party
In this
good?
room.
it's awful.
How was Olivia?
It's hard. They're mortified. She is
Oh,
scared that this
two
is
in a
going to turn
row.
on her.
It
Yep.
will, and that's
Yep. I'm gonna try and make it as easy as possible on her, but this party was to celebrate doing well at the
you
concert.
came to the neonate party, V. You're the
Yeah.
competition she's trying to be better than. You
Wow.
guiding her out of this may be the opposite of what she needs. Just as guidance of what.
Depends what kind of a person she is. She's
Yes.
been hanging
Yeah.
around with a lot of interesting folk, that's for sure.
A lot
We would
of
probably see
old
it that
folk.
way.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. It's fucked up that they see that as a competition.
It
How
really
else are they
is
going to gather
stupid.
meaning from their existences, though?
Mhm.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. Might just do a loop downstairs, see if anyone looks odd, because diablerie at a neonate party is not a good thing, especially a neonate party with the big H here.
People do not know that that happened, and I feel it may be a good idea to keep it that way.
Yeah, if people don't know what happened, then anyone who's acting a little off
Right.
is suspicious double time.
Yes. How are the two of you independent of all of this?
Fine.
You were kind of on your own here, V.
Interesting.
You okay?
Well, not really, but socially, yes.
Mhm. How'd it go?
Met some people. Met another Banu Hakim
Oh,
who was part of the group that split, so I'll be getting a call at some point, probably.
so you like them?
They seem nice enough.
That's a start.
I usually get on with my clan if they're not trying to feed me
The
blood of
yes,
some
yes, of
Methuselah.
course. Mhm.
And so far, she hasn't. So, that's
So
always a
far.
win.
Always a good start.
So many Methuselah everywhere.
I really wish there wasn't. I thought they were
Mhm.
supposed to all be off in their own little corner of doing their own little non-existent things, but apparently they all exist and they're all in fucking Chicago.
Don't say that in Elysium, though.
No, I'd probably, lose my head or something.
You probably
Or
would.
forget everything.
I
Because
look at the
that's how
bed.
it seems to fucking
Yes. What's the worst that could happen?
go. Yep. Yeah.
But you're
right.
okay.
Yeah.
I just know that
Time.
you like solving problems, and there was a big problem here.
Prefer it if less problems existed. But I now know of a new cult. So actually two new
Yes.
cults.
Uh-huh.
So that's always good.
Yes. Learning's always good. Knowledge is power.
Sure.
It is. What do you mean?
Don't hurt me
Frickin'
on my
burden.
convictions,
Um,
Edrica.
You say shit like that. I now have to defend this with my life. I can't believe you said that. Oh, I'm on Humanity 6 because V said yup. Oh god. All right. As long as you're okay, Irene, I'm sure you have this under control with the hounds.
Yes, everything was fine.
And what are your plans for the rest of the night?
I don't know. Probably check in with Damien at some point and see what comes of that fellow. But aside from that, I'm not
Have
sure.
you fed?
I have.
And you? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm chill.
Do
A
you
little
need
buzz.
to?
Would you like to?
If you want, there's lots of juiced up people here if you'd like to partake.
No, I wasn't invited. It would be rude.
When has that ever stopped you?
Would you like to go somewhere together? Would you
Where?
like to? There's plenty of cafes around. I'm not sure if you want to be. Do you like the cold?
It doesn't bother me.
V.
All I know is we're not supposed to stay in too long, otherwise we become statues.
Yes. All right. As long as you're bundled up, there's this little park nearby. It has one of this nice little fountain that doesn't freeze, even if it's.
Oh,
Really
wait, is
cold.
it this? Wait, I got you a souvenir.
Oh.
Oh, true. I forgot about
Let's
that.
not do this in here. I want to have a souvenir
no.
somewhere nice.
All right,
Not,
Okay.
let's walk
not near the
back to the
diablerie, not in
park,
front of.
perhaps.
They've been through enough.
Do
I'd like-
you clean this up?
Oh,
Irene, that's
that's a
you,
good
girl.
point.
That's your job.
Hound,
I
what do
will
we
clean
do?
it up. Yeah,
Grab
I
the whole sheet and fold it all up
Hey,
into a
give it
bundle.
all into a thing.
Chuck it in the
You wanna, like,
laundry.
get a sample or something, or you good?
Is
I
don't know,
there
you were into
anything
science
that
and
I'm
shit.
aware of
We
that
destroyed the
this
Ashfinders operation, so
is there a way to oh
They
no,
could find his
my
memories, though,
thin
you know?
bloods. Oh,
No. Oh my god, they're all
they were part of the
ex-Ashfinders.
Ashfinder. Give me.
okay. We'll give some
Like,
of it
taste
to
this,
Joseph,
man.
but
I pick up the
Provide-
whole bed
take
sheet and I
these
take it to my office.
no, that's too much.
Bruh.
Tell me who this was. Get his disciplines. Yeah, I'll get
Get his
a
memories and
sample
disciplines.
of ash.
Okay, small sample of this ash. Lovely. And I imagine, Irene, the rest of it's just going to be thrown into a particular body of water at some point.
Yeah, I like just a particular one.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
No problem. You
Mhm.
all leave the home and make your way.
I would like to just do a quick, like loop, watch everyone to see if anyone's acting slightly suspicious, and but
Yeah, just
yeah.
get a wits investigation.
There's so much going on here.
I
So
know.
much.
There's so much. I'm gonna rouse.
It's good.
Actually, am I able to give you a dot by kind of as we come down from upstairs, trying to like work the crowd a bit, just to be like, oh my god, we had to change those sheets. Did you hear about what happened upstairs? And if people are like, oh my god, gross, I'd be like, cool, you're fine.
Okay, yep.
Love that.
I adore.
That's 8
8.
with a normal crit.
Wow.
Mhm.
8
Mhm.
successes. Incredible. There is a clear. All the, as you've aptly put it, Irene, Menelians have made their way, or the Menelian cult have made their way out, and they've left. They've left the party. The Helens, as they're called, have remained,
Mhm.
however, and are still enjoying the party. So the tension has sort of died.
Interesting. So there's still kindred here.
Yes.
Oh, Sanchi was down. Yeah, of
Mhm.
course.
Yeah.
Yep. And when you come down, V, Portia is still frozen and looking at something in that same position. She's still looking at something in a particular angle, transfixed. She hasn't
Like a
moved.
See what
potion
she's
activated.
Super high, girl.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh, right, yeah.
Someone
like-
dropped like a coin down the side of the
Yeah,
thing. and
what
she's
exactly is it? Is it like a piece of glass? Is it like a painting?
You
Is it...
can't see it. Whatever it is, she has a unique sight, whatever this thing
Like,
is. You
or she
might
has
wish
that
that you
fucking-
could see the beauty that she sees in whatever it is.
So
But
there's nothing like that stands out in that corner
Not
that
to
you're
you.
staring at.
no.
Okay.
The Toreador see beauty in many things.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
That
Like
crap
clairvoyancing
looks real
3
nice.
blocks over and
It
being
could
like,
be, yeah.
whoa.
Mm.
True.
And Olivia's gone. Should we try to find her?
If you
V, you can.
Yeah.
You
In the snow as well.
She's upstairs and
Oh, she's still in the house.
Yeah, she's
yeah,
locked
she's
herself.
upstairs.
She's locked herself in a room and is crying.
Oh, no, we can't leave with her crying in the room.
you said that I can't talk to her, so you go on.
Oh, okay.
You go back.
You can come with me because you were here. I just was letting you know.
Okay, I can. What would you like me to do, Joseph?
I'm not here to tell you what to do. I just give you information. You act how you want. I just tell you stuff. I didn't say don't do it. I was just telling you to be aware.
Did you not just say don't do it? I feel like you said the words
It
don't.
was a
in that sentence.
suggestion. I would never
Okay.
tell you what to do.
When you are done,
Yes.
shall we
Go to the park.
go to the park and
Yes.
have a bit, just unwind from all this?
Hmm.
Would be
Yes. I
preferable.
just want to be sure that Olivia can recover from this, because if she ends the night in a crying pit, it's going to be harder to shift this from being her fault.
As much as you like knock on the door or call out her name, she does not respond throughout the whole time, and you can just hear her gently sobbing on the other side of the door.
Joseph, you're better off trying to shift the blame from her by talking to others.
Hmm.
She has no influence in this regard.
It's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah.
Um,
We start some rumors or some shit about someone else organized this party, or
well, technically, this Amanelian did start the fight.
The blame of this particular occurrence, if no one else spins it in any particular way, is
will fall
directly on
on
that person's head. Yes.
that. Got it.
Yes.
Well,
It's
let's
just
easier to
push
deal
that
with
narrative.
because we don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
We're gonna just
Damien
keep
will
pushing that
by the end
narrative.
of the night. So, I think he'll just come up to the door, choose a moment between her sobs, be like, Olivia, it's Joseph. I'm not going to interrupt your night. I just want you to know that you're in control of your own story. People will try to manipulate the things around you to turn you into someone that you aren't. And you just, that story means nothing if you know who you are. I hope that you still find a way to make tonight fun. And then he'll get some rest. And then as much centering as he can do through the door, and then we'll go.
The group find themselves walking back, and at this park that they were at earlier, where the coin and the albino squirrel were seen earlier. And you're standing.
It's not there anymore?
No, it's not there anymore. You're standing by the fountain that is still flowing up and through, and the lights are still going until Irene, you sort of stand up next to the lights flicker off, and the water continues to flow.
oh yeah, that thing you did, the shadow thing, that was pretty cool, and really helpful. Thanks.
Oh, I'm glad. That was very. I didn't know if it would work. I'm glad it did.
Yeah, no, that was impressive.
Yeah. Sign
yeah.
language. Anyway.
Mm.
Got it.
Yeah.
Shadow sign language with like the
Yeah,
flashing of the TV.
indeed.
It was really cool. Joseph,
Mhm.
this coin, we found it on our way here. It's
It's a
old as
Mithraic
fuck.
inscription.
Oh. What language is it in?
Latin.
Latin?
I assume.
Yes,
I
you
can
would be
read
correct.
Latin. Say. It's the unseen oblivion side from
Yeah,
It's
it,
just
Joseph
some
becomes
coin.
enlightened in 1 second.
I hold the coin, I collapse. It's that one Sabbat ritual where everything just shatters around me, and
it
I'm like,
says
"Me?"
all it says is Mithras and Deni, Deni, which you know stands for containing 10 in Latin.
Lovely. Yes, it says Mithras Deni, which means it contains 10.
So it's like 10 units of currency.
Of currency, yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
10 Mithrases.
This is very
Ten
nice.
10 Mithrases.
No, I'm
This coin is worth 10 Mithras.
It's worth a lot.
Yeah.
Would
yeah.
this actually be worth anything? This is more a collector item, wouldn't it?
Oh, it's very old. It would actually fetch quite a good price at an antique store
Got it.
or any
Hmm.
professional. Especially, you know, a certain kindred really interested in old artifacts who's really old themselves, who might be at a university. I don't know.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah. I should probably put this back.
Flicks it back in
Yeah.
for good
Makes a
luck.
wish.
Yeah. I do an occult check. How bad is it if I take it? But
I already took it, so I get the curse. You just get to keep the coin.
fantastic. Yes. Thank you.
Literally no bad things.
Yeah, my present to you, not having a curse.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
How did your
This
night
is very
go,
nice.
Joseph?
I
Yeah.
think I found someone. We're going to see how it goes. Her name
Oh.
is Penelope. She's in my anthropology class. And we spent a lovely evening together studying. She knows more than me about the cultural branch of anthropology,
Ooh.
which is very helpful because she can help me in my class and we can talk about societies, especially the one that I've just introduced her to. She is schooled, so she's not going to act.
Oh, so like not a date. So this was like a
It was a friend date, getting to know someone.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
With a ghouling at the end.
Yeah.
Well,
Not usually how they go, but you know.
not quite at the end. They're not quite as final as yours. More like a marination into the
It's a far more trimmier way of doing things, I
yes,
suppose.
yes. The weakening of the blood, mutation, all that. Anyway,
Hmm.
you might be seeing more of her around. My blood did definitely affect her, though.
As
Okay.
it tends to do.
Yes, she seems like a full kindred, and it's very strange.
Huh.
In what sense?
You know how Brian still just looks like a human with extra things?
Somewhat.
Extra things. Mm-hmm.
With like extra abilities. He's like your regular ghoul. Penelope has the semblance of fangs, and she has the aura of a kindred.
It's not
That-
dissimilar to Catherine's.
Fair.
That could backfire.
It could, and that is why I'm being very particular with her.
Yeah.
She is
good
ultimately going to be my childer. And I think that the embrace will hopefully rectify some of that.
Why
But-
is it a problem?
She's much like myself. She cares a lot about people. And it's hard to connect with people when you have clear
Yeah,
non-human
also-
tendencies.
But also, if someone who doesn't know anything about the masquerade and about vampires and is completely oblivious to all of that walks up near, let's say, a Black Site 24 and gets spotted by a Second Inquisition person looking like a vampire, she might be
Yes. Which is
keep
why,
an eye on her.
yes, there's absolutely going to be tutoring, education, all of that. I'm making sure that she is well taught
Good.
in every single way because she cares about societies and peoples. And it was the interest of learning about this side of things that made her
Mhm.
agree in a
How long are
way.
you planning to school her for?
Yeah.
How long do members of your clan usually do it for, I suppose?
How long were you good for?
I wasn't.
Ah. Neither was I, but
So I'm not quite sure. I'm doing it until I feel like the early mistakes won't be made. So that when the embrace happens, she already feels like a kindred. I'm going to treat her like a kindred from the get-go.
okay.
I have had this planned out for quite some time, and I'm going to do it correctly.
Sounds like you're
Mm.
setting her on a good road.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
yes. I want to set the Tremere in a direction that is good and better. And to do that, it has to be. If I can't do it with my own child, who on earth can I do it with?
Yeah. Well, I can't say that I'm. Look, it's your own life. You
Hmm.
can do what you wish, but you are plucking a human. from her life for this. I just want to make
This-
sure you remember
yes.
that.
There was a level of consent involved. There was enough foreshadowing over our date that she was aware that there was something that she had to pay a price if she wanted to get involved in.
Wow.
Knowledge is
Yeah.
power. And
You keep saying that, but
because it's
you
true,
didn't give her the correct knowledge.
I gave her as much as I could.
Look, I've never told you the full story of how I got embraced, but basically that's part of it. Was I was given the "you can help the world" speech and the whole, you can join something greater than yourselves. And then I got bit, and then I got killed, and then I got turned into this. And I did not know that I was signing up for this.
Very, very different. I was very informative. There wasn't a "you must" or "you won't." I alluded to it enough that if she said no, we could have studied together on something else entirely. You, by the sounds of it, weren't given an out. I did not eulogize. I didn't lecture her about saving the world, being better, joining something larger than herself. I spoke about a society of a culture that I
So you
just,
asked her if she wanted to join a cult?
in a way, I'd been in my lectures mentioning occult things, and she was the only one that responded positively to it. I didn't just choose her out of the blue. This has been weeks of
Okay.
checking.
Look, yep, sure.
Putting the
I'm
frog in the cold pot. It always is what it is, but you make it as easy as you can, I suppose. Well, at least
Yes.
you do. And that's
Mhm.
admirable because it's never a nice thing.
I
It's
personally,
never a
I'm
good
sure I
thing.
told you, walked out of my job and then woke up a kindred. It's not pleasant.
Well, I'm sure you'll be a better sire than most.
Yes, that's my goal. That's all I want.
Hmm.
But on a more pleasant note, I like coming here every now and then, especially when it's cold, because the faint light shift Irene back a bit from the fountain. The lights that come from the fountain kind of interact with the snow a little bit. It's very pleasant. And he'll just look up at the snow. It's nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
I would take a photo of this, but Irene won't show up in it.
All the better. Take a photo.
Sure. Like, stand close, say cheese.
I think with the snap of the camera and does V get into the photo as well? Because I don't think either of you will show
Some
up.
fleetness.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Oh,
only
yeah, I
when
can
she's
see
using
all
obfuscape. I
Like-
think.
Yeah, I can.
Is it passive?
Ghost of the Machine only works with other.
When you're
abilities,
using
so it like works on
Obfuscate, yeah.
top of Obfuscate.
Gotcha.
It doesn't work just by itself.
Great. In that case, the snap of the camera immortalizing these three in front of this beautiful location.
A blurred
Appropriately.
V completely moving too quickly, blurred out Irene. It's just a picture of Joseph next to two boys.
That's a pretty accurate description.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. And as this sort of flash happens, we sort of pause our story in this particular
Mm.
flash and see them in this moment at the end of this party, even though a lot of things went wrong. And I think we'll finish our game a little bit earlier than we usually do today. So,
That's fitting.
yeah, I think it is
Mm.
fitting. Very appropriate time to end it. So, thank you, our wonderful group of kindred. Let's reintroduce you and tell us where we can find you, starting with V.
Hey, I'm Phoebe. I've been playing V, the not coteries, banners of him. I'm at Sherbrooke Waters on most things. I will be doing stuff eventually again. Yeah.
Nice. I'm Beck. I play Irene, the Lasombra, who has a lot of internalized trauma about her own
Aw.
embrace experience. You can find me on Twitter at @poltergeist, where I just post stuff that interests me, and here at @poltergeist, where I run some games on occasion, and also play games and talk about them and waffle on a lot about certain things.
10 out of 10 recommend.
Mm.
I'm Jack. I've been playing Joseph Martinez, House Kana, Tremere Primogen, Prince's Warlock, Seneschal of Thinbloods, and Expectant Sire.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very nice. And we'll continue to deal with this mystery of what's happened here next week on Chicago by Night. Catch us then. In the meantime, tomorrow we have our epilogue of Hallstatt by Night, which will be a fantastic one. And over the weekend, some streaming of games. But otherwise, check out these wonderful people on their social medias and look forward to seeing their wonderful faces again next week. It's going to be fantastic. We will see you then. Bye.
Bye bye.